Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final match of the Benelux closed qualifiers. As you can see, I brought out my guinea pigs on screen and they're making a buttload of noise, and let me see if I can move them back a bit for you guys so you can actually see them properly. But those are my two animals. Whippet's got an animal of his own, except for the fact that it's actually a cardboard cutout. But nevertheless, welcome to the virtual caster desk. Today we will be covering Friends with Benefits versus MousePlayz, arguably the most anticipated matchup throughout the close qualifiers. And I gotta ask you, Whippet, how does it feel to come nearly at the end of this oh-so-adventurous journey?
Mixed emotions, certainly. It's been a fantastic journey all the way. It's almost going to be sad that we won't have any more games to go. But of course, it's going to be a great one that ended off a best of 3 here to decide who's going to be able to grab that spot in the Benelux Cup group stages. As you mentioned, MousePlayz and Friends with Benefits are two teams, and two very notable teams. Lots of familiar faces in the Benelux scene, and it's surely going to be a team which a match which is going to provide enough action to satisfy everyone's Rainbow Six needs.
Definitely so, and this is going to definitely be do or die for both of these two squads. It is a loser's bracket matchup, and because of it being a loser's bracket matchup, whoever takes this best of 3 series will grant themselves a spot in the group stages of the Benelux, of the Benelux Cup itself. And unfortunately, the loser will have to go home, but they're already home because of quarantine, so they'll just unfortunately come to an end in their run throughout the Benelux Cup. But either way, this match is going to prove to be a relatively big upset because both of these two squads, they truly deserve to actually take part in the Benelux Cup and really put their mettle to the test at the end of the day.
Very much so. Now, I am seeing in our feed these players are eager to get into the action. So how about we start showing where the action shall take place?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look exactly where we'll be visiting. So obviously MousePlayz, they'll be starting off with banning Coastline.
Yes,
followed, okay, that was probably one of the players in game who you just heard, but whatever, we'll just move briskly along. Map number 2 being banned out from FWB is Consulate, and the picks have come through. That is Villa and Oregon as our maps number 1 and 2, and our decider is going to be Clubhouse, so probably the most European kind of map pool you could actually ever hope to see.
I mean, I perfectly said it's all very common maps, and well, thanks to the joys of all of our Liquipedia stats, we can see that well, Clubhouse, Coastline, and Consulate are going to be the most picked maps. Actually, no, they're not. They're not in correct order, not in ascending order. Oh my, I read that poorly. The Cafe, Oregon, and Villa have been our most picked maps so far. And I mean, seeing the fact that we're going to see, you know, Villa and Oregon, they're some of the most popular maps, followed up by Club. Just so summarizes this region love to go to these maps, and well, we're going to see the cascade of ours finally going to get answered as we're going to launch straight into the lobby here. Villa map number 1 between MousePlayz and Friends with Benefits. How will it play out? More importantly, how will the operator bands define what this map will entail? Lots of familiar faces you can see, and they're all going to be in high energy, high spirits. There's lots of good looks, have funs, rain through chat. Hopefully, it will be a very fun game to cast as well as to watch. And the bans shall start raining in.
Definitely so. Now I've gotta, I probably need to let you just walk Twitch chat through the actual ban phase while I put Luke and Leia back, because otherwise if I don't, they're gonna start, you know, just peeing and pooping all over my desk. So I'm gonna be back in a jiffy. You just go through the op bans.
No worries. Well, not much of a surprise. We're going to see that a Thatcher is our first operator out of play. So not much of a surprise. Maverick, the next man, followed up. That's going to be for FWB, getting him out of play. So pretty standard to see a hard breacher as well as Thatcher out of play here on Villa. This course is going to add an extra step to every defense, and not even having the ability to use a Tory Torch, though, is going to make things a little more complicated trying to crack through these walls. The first defender out of play is going to be, well, we have to wait and see. 1 more second left, and it shall be Mirror. So, almost a very hallmark operator. I believe Mirror's been banned in every single game me and my 2 doors and myself I've casted in this run of the Benelux Cup quals. So, interesting to see her yet again out of play. Of course, an extra step many teams don't want to go through. And our final ban will be Wamai. So then you don't see a whole lot of bans on Villa for Wamai, but of course those pancakes and are great use in utility burn, as well as he's got a good set of weapons available to him.
Definitely so, and I'm always super duper excited to see Wamai just be banned, mainly due to the fact that it kind of just sort of rewinds the clock a tiny bit back to a couple of seasons ago, before he was introduced, and we're kind of playing Rainbow Six Siege in its good old-fashioned way. You know, the Mento was supposed to be with having only Jaeger as the sole, well, projectile denial kind of person operator, which is really cool, really fun to see. And at the exact same time, it's going to be interesting to see how MousePlayz are going to be able to cope with that specific ban, if they're going to alter their strategies, if they've got maybe something else really interesting cooking in the cauldron that could potentially throw FWB off their game, or vice versa.
Seriously, just having a read through the chat. These players all, of course, very friendly with each other, all aware of each other within this Benelux region. So we're going to see AVG, our first side of choice, and I'm not going to see anything too spectacular in times of operator lineups, but of course, who really needs the spectacular when it's a map like Villa, very well defined and well structured and evolved. Zen's going to be grabbing the hard breacher on Ace. And of course, this is very versatile in how much they can open up, as well as how they can be used. But interestingly, they're not going to bring any redundancy. No backup with Habana. They're just going to stick on Zen being the only man to try and break through the walls. So that's going to be interesting. Of course, the highlight player Zoom on the Ash. I'd imagine You can see a lot of his R4C getting to work because he, I believe, has the record for the most kills we've ever had on a broadcast. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it was something around that. I think it could have definitely been easily anywhere between 14 to 16 kills, but the one thing that I'm actually thinking about right now is, will our unfortunate caster curse hit this man yet again? One of the top players in FPL, is he going to suffer from our, well, commentary on the back end through some kind of telepathy? I don't know.
I certainly hope he doesn't, because if he is able to fire on all cylinders, he's going to have a fantastic performance and give us some fireworks to enjoy. So we're going to see a push on the master bedroom side, and tailing, and drones are getting deployed. A whole army of them. I'm going to see a C4 rip down below, a Valkyrie lurking near kitchen. Might try to launch one up and get an early frag, but good information gathering here by Wishmaster, and Valkyrie's position now known. So is anyone in great position to act on it? No, but of course now they're wary of the C4 below, so they might watch their spotting a little bit more. And of course the Valkyrie now has to be very concerned. Position compromised. Is someone going to be behind that drone? Well, they don't know.
They don't know as of yet. Definitely quite the slow start actually so far from FWB. They're just doing their due diligence of taking as much map control as possible, but by the looks of it, they have yet to actually start droning out the bottom floor. And as you did see, Sportos as well as Dark, they're currently down below there. One of those operators comes decked with the C4 in their back pocket, but at the exact same time, FWB are starting to run desperately low on time. We've already surpassed the halfway mark of the round, and we also have yet to see some initial action come out from either one of these two squads. FWB are definitely going to have to pick up the pace as the first Nitrocell comes out, lands onto Zend, but simply not enough to take him out for the time being.
He's left on just above it, half HP, and a bit of a queue up trying to get inside of 90. He's going to be so close finding one in the Soul Seeker. Wishmaster getting the trade off there, so the smoke is going to get traded out for the life as a fear. Pretty honest one, and kind of the due diligence utility. But now control of 90 has been gathered by FWB, and can they keep pushing worse? Well, Sporo is going to lose some HP. I believe to a track stinger on red. Yes, he is going to sit tight, but no! Well, Dutch is going to deny that. Valkyrie, no heroics from you. Head being taken off with the Navy SEAL operator, as Dutch is going to find his maker as well from Dark down below, as Doom's going to get Miss Marie. And now a C4 launched out by Bobby Boy. Can it hit us more? Yes, it does.
Two!
Two for the price of one, and now it's going to be a flurry of kills. A triple comes out for Bobby Boy, getting us into a 1v1. But doesn't matter, as Wishmaster's there. Friends with Benefits going to be able to claim round number one, and already fireworks on Villa.
Definitely so. I mean, this definitely beats the kind of fireworks that you could see on New Year's Eve, for example. And Bobby Boy, he tried his darnest. He nearly managed to pull a very, very interesting looking rabbit out of his head, or out of his hat, not out of his head. That would be really weird. Managing to get 3 kills, almost seemingly back to back, kicking things off with that double C4, so well placed. It bore fruit, to say the least. It was just a bit unfortunate for MousePlayz that he wasn't able to clutch out that 1v4 scenario to end off on the quad kill. It would have definitely been one for the highlights and the digest, as you always love to say, but I'm pretty sure, I've got a tingling sensation that we are going to see some more heroics down the line.
Villa's been a great map for it so far. If we can throw our memories back to last night, our final map of the evening, with Benelux on top versus, if I have to go back to my notes just to remember who it was, Benelux on top versus Team Zoned.
Yeah.
Where Smurfio managed to get an ace inside the walk-in closet and master bedroom on smoke in a very, very, very fancy fashion. So it's been a map that's provided lots of action in our history. So let's hope it can continue. So in our first round, a great indicator of that's going to continue. AVG yet again, so can MousePlayz make adaptations in order to counter the strategies employed by Friends with Benefits? One massive thing of note, though, from FWB is the confidence they had as the time drained away. They never felt that they were kind of rushing or that they were being kind of pressured by the clock. They're always comfortable in their setup, so they're trusting in each other and they're trusting in what they're going to be asking each other to do. They weren't getting rushed or panicked as the time drained away from the round. Now, and even when the kills came out in favor of the defense of MousePlayz because of Bobby Boy's double C4 and then the MP7 kill, they still stayed calm and collected. Didn't panic under the pressure, so that's a good sign as the series progresses.
Definitely so. That is probably one of, or arguably one of the most important characteristics that you have to have. Ensure that that the opposition doesn't end up living rent-free in your head. And obviously that is something that the majority of these players are actually accustomed with, right? I mean, you've got Joom, for example, as I stated before, top of FPL, Wishmaster, played on Sector 1 and came so darn close to actually becoming the champion of Benelux Season 5. There are a lot of really, really amazing players out here who have have the experience and can properly control their composure throughout a best-of-3 series, regardless of what the stakes are.
Certainly so, and composure and keeping kind of yourself calm for a series of this length is really important. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but interesting. I know Zend and Miss Marie are already low on HP. Only left with around 30 each, and that's not going to be a whole lot as this round plays out, but a lot of time ticking away. And that is Ace, of course, in the low HP, and that's going to be very worrisome. As going to see the Mozzie down below, still got a C4 in pocket, so a threat to anyone lurking upstairs. And I'm going to see them entirely taking their time. I don't want to make any mistakes or risks they don't need to. And there's going to be a good angle held by Wishmaster, but of course, they're going to be got good angle if someone can stumble into the side to the L85. Miss Marie, diligent on cameras, trying to relay as much information in the dark as possible. As more drones cascade in the side.
FWB seemed to be having a bit more of a struggle compared to last round with gaining that initial map control, but when the execution came through, that's when the entire round was just tipped over its head, and that's when MousePlayz started to fluster here and there from time to time, and the longer that they're able to keep the attackers at bay, the higher the chances are that MousePlayz will walk away with their first defensive round as Dutch and Party, well, they start walking through the 90 hallway to start applying some pressure, and they have also taken and seized control of it, meaning that they can, well, sooner or later, momentarily actually get that 90 wall open. But as I say that, Sportos is going to open up the round with a C4 kill onto Zend, immediately putting us in a 4v5 with roughly 30 seconds left for the execution to come through.
Not a whole lot of time to work, and a man disadvantage, and so of course Sportos down below. You have to worry about rotations from him. The Dark still a dominant position with a shield to play for. The Bobby White falls a Soul Seeker. Sophia claiming the life of the bandit. It's going to be another brawl by the top of main stairs, but this time I believe that's Miss Marie getting the kill. Correct me if I'm no, Sportos getting a second in the round. 12 seconds now. The plant's going to go down, however. Dutch going to use the cover of the smoke to try and get it done. A C4 might get tossed out, and the canister does. He's going to stick it out. He gets it. The kills. Wishmaster with 2. It's all down. This is so close. He's going to get one of the Dutch. He's got an SMP-11 in his hand, a shotgun in his pocket. He's going to attempt to stick the defuse. He's going to have to wait and bait it out. He's going to get caught between the crossfires. The man of Wishmaster's there. 3 in the round for him. Friends with benefits yet again. Cool, calm, and collected. Cooler heads prevail. 2 rounds in a row for them.
Wishmaster seemingly brought the mysterious key that just unlocked the entire bomb site, and truth be told, Friends with Benefits, they really didn't do anything all that special in that entire execution. Really, all they did was just provide tip-top coverage as the diffuser was going down, and there really isn't more to the story. Wishmaster, on top of Red Staircase, or landing as some people would like to call it, able to just perfectly lock down that entire line of sight that stretches through the aviator room all the way down to study, and as you saw, that really worked wonders for them. He managed to pick up 3 kills by the time that the round was done, and it just blew things wide open for FWB. And MousePlayz, the repercussions for them are not looking all too bright. Not being able to win out a single round so far, and AVG is going to force their hand to go elsewhere. And that bomb site is going to be Trophy and Statuary. The first time we're seeing these 2 particular sites in this best of 3 series is going to prove to be interesting, but I have full faith that FWB are prepped and decked to handle whatever MousePlayz is throwing their way.
So far, it just does seem that FWB have been the more prepared team. It just seems that, well, not even perhaps more prepared, but the more collected when it comes. They've been in the back foot situation several times so far in just the opening 2 rounds. And they didn't panic, they didn't get nervous, they didn't get jumpy on their guns, they didn't risk anything. They kept it calm, collected, they stayed rhythmic, and they played exactly perfectly for what they needed to do. And they've been so fluid in their adaptation so far, and they've been very on-the-fly moments where they've not had a lot of time to think about it. This is going to be showing that they are very comfortable on Villa, at least. And of course, that 2-0 advantage on the attacking split so far is going to stand for them as this map plays out. Round 3, of course, and Trophy Statue, the site we go to now. APG's been seen as obsolete, but Wishmaster almost finding ahead of 2 players there. He's going to be almost going to get lucky there. He's going to at least threaten that position.
That would have been a very early detriment for MousePlayz if Wishmaster was able to get away with 2 of those frags, but at the end of the day, at least they've managed to claim control of 90 Hallway and the southern portion of the map all to themselves, so now they can start ingressing towards the actual bomb site. And even though FWB do have 2 rounds to their name, they have to probably be a bit more careful with the actual roam presence that is being exerted from MousePlayz down below. I mean, so far, from the 3 rounds that we are seeing, including this one, MousePlayz have almost every single one of those rounds actually played somebody down below with the nitrocell in their back pocket just waiting to pounce. And in the previous round, they managed to get 1 kill with it, but FWB still seemingly managed to rise victorious. So I don't know if this is the right course of action, to simply ignore the players down below or to actually divert some focus and attention towards them. Either way, you know, if the formula ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's more or less the name of the game for FWB.
It is intriguing that every single round so far, a significant presence of the defense has been dedicated downstairs. And the fact that it's just been ignored might be kind of the success that FWB have had. They're not risking lives or utility down below. They're trying to just make as much progression towards the side as possible. I think there's going to be an occupational hazard of this, as C4s might land above, as Bobby Boys finds one in this end. Your only hard breacher now out of play, but Zoom, very aggressive. But he's going to get caught out with the player prone by the chassis as Dark going to be able to shut him down, and Miss Marie gets one of her own. It's going to be a 5v2 now. It's going to be Soul Seeker creeping on in. That's going to be Miss Marie falling. He's going to be able to try and attempt to get a second one, but the Molly's going to scamper away with his life by the bottom of red stairs. It's going to be a horrible fight now, pistol in hand, but he wins it out no matter what. And an awkward one, but he's going to be able to get that goo mine out just in time. 3v2 now in favor of MousePlayz, so can they stick it out? Wishmaster quite far away and isolated from his teammate, 30 seconds to work, and the fuser is in the hand of the wounded Sophia. Great weapon to brawl with, and his utility still available. I mean, I believe that's 2 impacts and 1 concussion left, as well as a frag grenade available on the sledge. He's going to get in a horrible engagement, caught with the frag grenade in his hand. He's going to count his lucky stars. His life is still intact for the pre-fire alarm from the Jaeger. Now it's all down the Soul Seeker. Finds so close, 3rd in the round. Is not going to be able to find number 4 because Darkster shut him down. MousePlayz fire back and get round number 3. They're not out of this yet, and they've still got some fangs. A great round from them. They're going to be able to start clawing at this scoreline back.
Definitely so. MousePlayz quite literally just making lemonade out of the lemons that were handed from them. And at the exact same time, I believe that, well, FWB have more or less been sort of employing the same strategy and the same philosophy in the previous rounds. They don't really necessarily focus all that much on their hard breach utility and try to actually attack the bomb site from multiple angles, a sort of divide and conquer strategy, if you will. So far from what we've seen, they like to force themselves through those fatal funnels, which it's a bit of a hit or miss sometimes. Obviously, on AVG, they had that perfectly on paper and in practice as well. With Trophy and Statuary, it was a bit more iffy and a bit more dicey for them to actually pull it off, but at the end of the day, MousePlayz really good job of just hunkering down on the bomb site, being able to drain out that timer, and they're going to be properly rewarded for doing so. 1 round to their name, and now they're going to be revisiting AVG, the 3rd time that we'll see MousePlayz move on to this bomb site. And I don't know exactly how this one's going to play out. I'm just hoping that they're bringing something a bit more different. Hopefully they've got something, you know, more interesting cooking in the cauldron so that they can actually equalize out the round count.
Certainly so. I mean, now we're going to go to AVG. 3rd time of asking from MousePlayz. Can they make the appropriate adjustments to be able to claim it for themselves? And yet again, we're going to see the dedication of players downstairs. Sporo's going to be one of them. He had success with that C4 below, but this time, interestingly, we're going to see Jum spawning over by Ruins. This might be indicative of he's going to play very aggressive towards study balcony, or he could have just misclicked. But actually, it looks like he might be attempting, yes he is, to go down below and try and dislodge this roam presence. He's going to try and twist and turn his way into the building, but it's going to be the rest of his team getting set up for a push from the master bedroom side as Dark's going to take a boatload of damage, and I believe that was Jum. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So his presence is now known down below, and he's going to be hunting for more, but of course he's going to lose a chunk of his HP as well. The Ash is going to be very cautious for any further engagements, or he might just play with reckless abandonment. He's got low HP, so he can throw himself around, try and find some kills before he ultimately gets slain out himself.
This is interesting right over here. Spordo's moving through the basement side, the most underutilized portion of the map, and he can practically jump the gun right here and claim the opening frag for MousePlayz onto Soul Seeker if he's, well, not properly taking a look at his 6. They're so close, within an arm's length of each other, but Sportos is being a bit too conservative. This might be an unfortunate mishap if he misses the timing. I don't know what to think of this.
He needs to pull the trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
He really does.
He really does, because MousePlayz, they desperately need that opening frag. I mean, don't get me wrong. The trend for the majority of these matches has been, you get the opening frag, you end up winning the entire round so far. And like I said, that has to be on the menu so far for MousePlayz. It just seems as if Sportos missed a huge opportunity right there and then.
He has missed one there. His just decision to play a little bit more passive is not going to work out in favor. Miss Marie, however, is going to be very opportunistic and find Wishmaster, the first kill of the round. And that's going to be your sledge off the board. Frag grenade's gone. Miss Marie going to keep continuing to take engagements and find a second kill. A fantastic pre-fire lands Doom off the board. That's the Ash, one of the most potent guns. Miss Marie's not going to give up, however, going to keep spraying to the wall, looking for more. Legion Mine's tossed out as well. And this time Legion's going to get in a more advanced position, looking for number 3. Damage done, not going to be able to find it. Loses her life, but damage has already been done. And actually downing Dutch, I believe, through the wall. So Miss Marie's position at 90. Great one as Bobby Boy launches the C4. Zen's going to meet his maker. 4v2 now. It's going to be a very tricky one. MousePlayz seemingly in their element now. Third time of asking for AVG, and AVG's replied kindly. And they're going to hopefully be able to close this one out. 30 seconds to go. Can Friends with Benefits claw this one back?
I'm not sure if they can. I mean, the diffuser is relatively far away from home, seemingly on the opposite side of the map, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to properly traverse all the way down to study so they can recover it, seeing as, well, they're not going outside of the map. They want to push directly through Aviator and try to win this round on frags alone. Soulseeker, he's unfortunately going to lose his life, but Dutch is going to get the immediate refrag, and, well, he lost his. Sportos claiming the final one before Soulseeker will withstand to 5 HP and ultimately be cleaned up by Bobby Boy. So now MousePlayz, third time's the charm, and they finally were able to win out a round on AVG, and this equalizes out the score 2-2. Great stuff coming out from MousePlayz so far.
Sneaking suspicion that these teams won't ever be able to get a lot of daylight between each other. He's going to see round number 5, and finally we're going to be going downstairs. Dining and kitchen. Going to be an attempt at a complete rotation here from MousePlayz. Can they do so? The operator lineup's very similar yet again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. A massive round there for MousePlayz. Really an important one to be able to kind of find themselves on level footing yet again. Well, 2 rounds left to their defense half. Can they close it out? Or will it be a draw 3-3 as it so commonly has been so far in these quals? Oh, actually a 6-pick here. We might see a new operator lineup. Ace is going to go from Ace to Ace.
Wow, okay, so the mind games have officially started. 6-picking off of one operator to the exact same one. That's really going to throw MousePlayz off their guard. Who would have thunk it with it? Who would have thunk it?
I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's 5 million IQ plays coming out here, Ace to Ace. I mean, it's completely going to throw the strategy out the window for MousePlayz. They were expecting Ace to get 6-picked away, surely. Yeah. And he is just going to completely throw the spanner in the works. But downstairs now, a site that's rose to prevalence in recent time. It's very popular with lots of teams in T1. It's very much opting to be the almost primary site for lots of rosters. But this time it's going to be MousePlayz tertiary. At least they have only brought it out now after getting successful runs on both Trophy and AVG. I'd imagine upstairs presence is going to be very important for them, and I think they've already sent a few members up there. So how will this one play out? Will FWB play very aggressively to get top floor control, or will they try to completely ignore it yet again and just push laterally like they have been doing so successfully so far?
Oh, okay. Oh, that is unfortunate for Bobby Boy, losing his life really early on as Soulseeker just decides to jump the gun and take the fight head on with MousePlayz. He'll unfortunately lose his life as Miss Marie gets the immediate refrag. Really fast recovery coming out from MousePlayz, and I feel as if FWB, that's not necessarily the right course of action. Losing out on all that utility that the Zofia actually brings to the table is not probably what you want to see within the first 30 seconds of the round, but yes, they have managed to get a C4 off the table. Joom has already worked his way towards the top floor and manages to pick up Sportos as well, denying yet another C4. And now I believe that Miss Marie is the last person with a nitrocell in her back pocket, but Dark, oh no, he's going to jump onto Wishmaster, catching him seemingly with his pants down, and that's going to put us yet again in an even playing field.
Joom's going to be able to spot out Dark, but of course he's on the drone, he can't act on the information. And Dark's going to vault on down, back in the site. And to be able to regroup the rest of his team, they're going to have everything tied up now. 2 kills apiece. Joom vaulting in, trying to find the player getting the barricade down, but just misses his shots as he tries to look for that fadeaway. So it's going to be a tricky one now. Minute 30 on the clock. Everything tied up as Joom's going to try and find someone's head for the wall, but nothing's going to line up perfectly for him. Dark replies, however, and not going to do any damage of his own. 3v3 utility-wise, it's going to be Zen still rocking the hard breach, as well as the track stingers available from Dutch, and the R4C, of course, potent as ever on Joom. They don't have a whole lot to work with, and that shield is going to help, going to be able to persist unless the breaching round to Joom are rotated over. It doesn't appear that's going to be the case, because he's upstairs and likely going to set up some vertical angles, and while he can try to displace the shield from above, and he might have stuff to protect it, and well, wisely, he's going to toss the flashbangs out first, and knows it's now clear, so he's going to be using that utility wisely. Shield's now gone instead of laundry. 50 seconds ago, we're going to hear canisters already getting tossed out. And it's Selma to open up this wall. Coming top by the mute jammer.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was just going to say that FWB, they really need to start picking up the pace right here, which they have done, but the clock continues to tick. 35 seconds left, and they haven't been able to get the laundry breach open as of yet. Zend getting a bit too ambitious will lose his life to Dark, putting us in a 3v2 right now as Joom ascends the pantry staircase. Now the mute jammer has been disposed of, and now Dutch can get a proper line of sight onto the actual bomb site itself. Recovers the diffuser as well, and he's waiting on Joom to make the first move. Track stingers will be deployed momentarily, as well as the smoke grenades, and now the diffuser can start being planted so close as within arm distance of Joom, and he will catch Dutch out in the open, but he's going to lose his life to Joom, who has to waltz through that toxic gas to try to recover the diffuser, but Miss Marie is quick to respond, and that's going to be MousePlayz taking their 3rd round on the tertiary bomb site as well, meaning that they can now revisit Trophy and Statuary to potentially grab that golden number of 4 defensive rounds.
Great round there, and a great kind of calm and collected finish as we saw the smokes hiding inside of his own cloud of toxic gas. It was in a perfect position to shut down Dutch with the SMG-11. As you mentioned, a complete rotation now is going to be unlocking Trophy and Statue. And interestingly enough, Bobby Boy grabbing the Malusi, the first time the Banshees are going to be in play this evening. So how will they affect everything? We're going to see a very similar lineup yet again from the offense of Friends with Benefits, and not much of a surprise. They've had a lot of success, but as of right now, their strategy, their playstyle at least, has been cracked by MousePlayz. And can this continue? The defense looking strong in their own half, but of course, everything might change after this round, as we will see Friends with Benefits swapping over the defense, no matter what the result of this round is going to be. And surely they're going to hope to tie everything up 3-3, because that's going to make it a very interesting second half here on Villa.
Yeah, definitely so. That's exactly what FWB want to achieve. They want to tie up the round count in a nice, neat little bow, moving on to the second half with an even score line. And if that is going to be the case, well then we've definitely got a barn burner of a match on our hands, where 2 teams are going to be so close and tight-knit with each other that they might not be able to actually grant themselves a lead over the other. It's definitely going to be a tight matchup. But for now, the matter at hand is that MousePlayz, they've got to, they're most likely actually going to win this bomb site, seeing as it was the only bomb site so far on Villa which they were able to win on their first try, apart from the bottom dining room and kitchen. Now, FWB, they were met with a lot of stern and strong resistance the last time that they were tasked with attacking Trophy and Statuary, and that came mainly due to the fact that they were trying to funnel themselves in through Wolf and Red Landing. This time around, they're going to have to try to mix up the formula and try to maybe potentially attack from Master Bedroom, seeing as, well, Zen Selmas haven't really been put to good use so far.
Yeah, one thing I really want to kind of pull from here is just our map statistics so far. Thanks to Wikipedia for this one. But Villa only going to have a 25% win rate for the attack. Now, that is not good so far, but FWB have been trying to do their best to correct those stats. 2 rounds on their split so far, and they're great successful ones at that. But can they tie this split up? Now, of course, remember, that's a 75% win rate for the defense on Villa, and that's what you'd expect from a map like this. But in recent memory, the maps have shifted a little bit towards more neutral, at least in kind of my memory of casting. So it's unusual to see a map still be a bastion of defense superiority. But of course, can we see that cracked wide open? Control gathered here from Friends with Benefits. Can they try to progress forward though? hatch inside the downstairs bathroom cracked open. Sportos very much aware. Here's the hammer to do it. No, sees the drone, of course, so his position downstairs is now known. And he has to be very worried about who's going to be charging down after the information. Drop from Wishmaster. He's going to hunt down the Mozzie, the plucky Australian, though. His days might be numbered. As the Scottish hammer-wielding warrior trying to find his way in the building, but another drone. Is the Mozzie going to be detected by it? Yes, he is. Surely he's going to be able to try and escape away, but of course, this game of cat and mouse is going to burn so much time.
It really has. I mean, trust me, we're sitting on roughly 65 seconds left on the timer so far, and Sportos has really just accomplished his task altogether. I mean, he's been wasting so much of FWB's time, but they will be able to find the opening frag. Miss Marie being the opening casualty for the round is definitely the good start that they were looking for, but Bobby Boy's gonna pounce, and so will Sportos after being seemingly left unchecked inside of that art gallery, or that the atelier room, as it were called in Dutch. That's going to put us in a 4v3 scenario right here, as Dutch is trying to challenge the, I believe that is the Malusi of Bobby Boy over inside of Statuary, but to no amount so far. Toxic Babes will begin to be tossed out onto Soul Seeker, immediately denying FWB direct entry towards the bomb site. They're going to wait for it to dissipate, as Joom is going to start opening things up by cleaning up Bobby, and now FWB have worked their way into the bomb site, but they can't stick the diffuser just yet. Dutch has been forced off, and now Joom and FWB, they've got this entire place on lock, as So Close will unfortunately go down. Joom unfortunately cannot pick up the second as well, but the timer will actually go down. The diffuser, I should say, will go down, but it matters not. MousePlayz, they know how to clean up, and they'll take their 4th round on their opening half.
That was a great recovery from them. They were able to find their way in a dominant position here at the end of round number 6. A great defense split for them, 4-2 the scoreline. And the man of the hour, Sportos downstairs, wasting so much time with the game of cat and mouse between the drones and Sledge. And ultimately, the time was not in the favor of the offense of Friends with Benefits. We saw the clock, their biggest nemesis. But however, they shall be going to the defense side now. I wonder how different and variation strategies will be, as AVG will be the first option they choose to go, and a very new, well, 2 new operators, I believe 3 new operators for this series so far, Maestro, Valkyrie, and a Nomad, and actually a Habana as well, so a whole, and IQ, oh my, a whole lot of new weapons and faces in this round, as we'll get into our second half, as well. Nomad will be 6-picking onto Sophia, an interesting choice. They're going to have a lot of faith in flank watch players and drones for that one. No air jabs to cover their back.
May or may not be the right call. I mean, obviously we don't know exactly how FWB are going to be playing out their defense, but one can only assume when you've got that kind of roster to back you up, players like Joom, Wishmaster, Zend, all of these players, and especially Joom, who is accustomed to playing at such a high tier in FPL, you can only expect the most, well, I don't think I'm going to say edgy of plays, but the most bonkers of plays, I think is the right terminology. So I think that if MousePlayz really wanted to actually dictate the pace of their attacking half and really dictate the pace of each and every single round, it probably would have been the right call to stick the Nomad pick, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do without a Zofia? She just brings far too much utility that you cannot deny.
Yeah, one of the most util-heavy operators available, and it's a weird thing to say, but Ash is also an operator that brings a tremendous amount of utility, 2 breaching rounds, 3 flashbangs, similar levels of utility as Sophia. I mean, that is just Siege in 2020. If an Ash dies first, well, you're going to be, well, very angry at that, because you're going to lose so much ability to burn ADS. This is why my pancakes and destroy shields. So it's an odd state of the game, but of course an interesting one nonetheless. As AVG are Warzone in a very direct push, it seems. There's already someone trying to pressure study balcony. And be pressure applied, but Zen on the main stairs is going to try and deny that as best he can, as well as the backup from Soul Seeker. The shield to watch 90 is all in the default rotation popularized by teams like SSG. Just going to make it very tricky to get control of that 90 hallway. Miss Marie down below near the bottom of the main stairs. Zen gets aggressive, finds one. He's going to be able to Joom, going to peek out, lose his life, however. But still a brawl ensues as Dark's going to be able to get one. The Bandit drops as well. The main stairs of Massacre as Dark's going to find a second in the round. He's going to land some shots up the stairs. That's going to be a Wishmaster to take a boatload of damage, but of course, it's still only enough to keep him alive. And the SMG-11, a great weapon to brawl with. But more importantly, this pox of canisters. His head nearly taken off with pre-fire above. These vertical angles haven't worked out as they'd imagined they would. Friends with Benefits find themselves in a man disadvantage early here in the first defense round on Villa.
A really, really good start so far from MousePlayz, really being able to control the defenders and really put them in their place so far. And because of that, well, there's 90 seconds left on the timer right here, and they have taken almost decisive control of each potent portion of the map that they need to use in order to pull off a successful attack. And you can see Miss Marie is so close onto, well, joining in on the fun as the Selma start ringing in the background and will make things a lot more uncomfortable for the defenders on the side of FWB. Miss Marie has managed to work her way inside of the bomb site and will start, well, just raining a bit of suppressing fire. If that's going to be able to compete with that of Dutch, we'll have to wait and see. But Soulseeker's going to lose his life to So Close, putting us in a 4v2, and there's 55 seconds left. Nasty shot coming out from So Close to even out the odds, and he'll top it off with the third. That's the cherry on the top of the cake for MousePlayz, and now they have established a very decisive lead against FWB.
I really just want to highlight that beautiful three-piece there from So Close. He was so accurate with the Type 89, no shots missed realistically. And he was there to punish everyone that revealed a single pixel to his aim. So he's going to be kind of my man of the round at least, as Trophy Statue will be the opt now. They're not going to opt to go for AVG any more than they can. They're going to stop the bleeding best. They will try, as they won't even risk it again. Trophy. The next Warzone, of course, and the operator lineups haven't changed a whole lot, but Dutch driving up the castle, indicative of an extension up towards Study. I'd imagine that will be employed. I think it's a very dominant and very strong one, but of course it can be very much negated if the pressure just applied directly in the master bedroom.
Yeah.
So only time will tell, but MousePlayz, ball is in their court. Can they capitalize on this early momentum, get themselves on a match point here on round number 8?
I mean, usually whenever you see a castle be brought out on a trophy and statuary hold, that's usually going to be indicative of a closet and master bedroom hold, which seemingly isn't going to be the case this time around, because I was just looking through the operator lineup and scratching my head like, hey, where's the smoke? Are you guys gonna try to pull this off without a smoke? But that's obviously not the course of action that they're willing to take. It's just gonna be a classic overextension into AVG. But those castle barricades are going to at least provide the roamers a bit more freedom to traverse throughout the top floor much more easily. I mean, that 90 wall, or that 90 hallway in the window specifically, it's one of the portions of the map that is so heavily contested and something that the attackers desperately need to actually take control of in order to flush out the defenders. And as soon as that's been opened up, well, the defenders of FWB can actually play that particular side of the map all too safely. And usually with your extension into AVG, you will have a rotation from Vault into 90 hallway, but thanks to the castle, at least they can buy themselves an extra couple of seconds.
That's going to be all important. Castle, the barriers can do so much time gathering, and well, Wishmaster finding Miss Marie early. So Legion claim the life of the IQ. So IQ and operator that gets more kind of is very useful later in the round to get rid of important utility, but not going to be able to use that sense to do so. Is going to be making an early grave. And Dutch, a nasty angle through the shelving, or through the desk, I should say. Nice compliment there coming out in chat, and Wish, it was a very nice kill indeed. But of course, a lot of time in the round, and a man advantage for the defense of FWB. Can they capitalize? And will they let this slip between their fingers? They certainly hope not, and already we're going to see a mass amount of information, all the cameras employed. Dark trying to look for anyone vertically, but can't find it. An impact trick attempt. I think it's going to be able to shut down that Selma. Yes, it is. Another Selma tossed out. Will the Legion of Wishmaster be able to find it? Likely not. It was placed so low. But he can die the next one, surely? No, he's just going to let that tick away. Crack open the wall just slightly, so his feet might get exposed if he doesn't try to cross over towards Astro.
Joom is going to be able to shut down Dark to put us in a 5v3 scenario, and now FWB, they still got some fight left in them, and they are definitely willing to prove it. They've done a splendid job so far of keeping the attackers at bay and holding onto the bomb site for as long as possible, but ooh, we are going to see the Zofia of Sportos instantly clap back, but unfortunately, the ace of Bobby and Sportos, they're both going to lose their lives in that whole blunder of kills, and now it's all down to So Close. We saw some heroics from him last time around, managing to pick up a triple kill, but does he have it in him to pull off this 1v4 clutch? Potentially also recovered the diffuser, which is stuck inside of bathroom. It is not going to be an easy situation to get out of. Rather sticky, I could say, but he'll successfully find the head of Zen to even out the odds ever so slightly, but there's 30 seconds left on the timer for him, and it's a very steep hill to climb.
Very much so. 25 takes away. Goomine pulled out. He's got 3 more to find. He's going to try and brawl with it, but a crossfire lands. Doom going to get credit with the final kill, and is so close. And friends, it benefits. Get round number 8, and that's going to be breaking a trend of, I believe, 5 rounds of MousePlayz 1 in a row, so they're going to be able to break that momentum, and let's see if they can build on it. Round number 9, and of course, all importantly, 1 round away from match point for MousePlayz, so every single round is going to be super important for FWB now, as they're going to opt to go back to AVG. Can they make the appropriate adaptations to hold on a little bit stronger to the site? Well, we will only find out as we play out, but yet again, operator lineups haven't changed a whole lot.
No, they haven't really changed a whole lot. Rather static throughout the entire matchup. I guess these are just really comfort picks for both of these two squads. There's not really much else to say, and at the exact same time, you know, just go with what's handed to you on a silver plate. That's really all you can say. I mean, especially with Malusi, you know, such a potent operator who really shows no signs of stopping until the day comes that Ubisoft does decide to nerf her, and in that case, well, she's going to be losing that T5 for the MP5, which is a very necessary change, but doesn't really strike the core root of the issue. Aside from all of that, upcoming changes that you can currently find on the TS so far, FWB, they are doing a splendid job so far of at least trying to narrow the gap between themselves and MousePlayz in terms of round count. Finally being able to pick up their first defensive win is a statement, but they have to try their darndest to try and pick up a couple more of these rounds. AVG is definitely going to be the next bomb site which we will be visiting, and let's hope that they have what it takes to pull out a round win. We can see that they're going to be employing more or less the exact same strategy, just with a small couple of adaptations. That the top of main stairs hold, which we did see last time around, has now been reinforced in the sense that they have now added a deployable shield as well as a banded battery to the mix, so they can, well, wind down that timer ever so more often. But Zend, already getting extra aggressive, is going to lose a chunk load of HP, all thanks to Dark, and well, that was a very quick way to start off the round, and you can't breach that ceiling from down below. I thought everybody knew that by now. You can't.
Yeah, I have seen so many C4s tossed up with that small bit of landing before in my time, and it's one of those moments that even when players do it, they realize, oh, well, that's unfortunate, but Sporos down below can use the impacts available in the lifeline to pop away at the flooring, and that's going to make everything uncomfortable for Wishmaster, but he's going to keep his life. So Sporos still brawling away through the floorboards. He's going to be able to do some damage, but take some of his own. He's going to very much stick it out. He's playing very aggressively here, just going to miss the head there of Doom, I believe, and actually, no, Soul Seeker. It's such an awkward engagement for both these players, but more importantly, he's just going to waste time for the offense. If he's fighting by the main door, they know where he is. They can isolate him away, and Zend might be trying to do so, creeping down the stairs. He's got to put himself in a position where at least he can cause some chaos if there's a few steps out of the line. As Dark also trying to fight through the floorboards. Very interesting, but so close, and Boy likely to be the people applying direct pressure in the study. As the Habana trying to displace anyone up by the top of main stairs. As Dark slain out by Zend. As Doom is going to be able to try and find one, but we're going to see the Bandit now out of play. Doom gets the kill on the Miss Marie, but the top of main stairs is now fallen. The Banshee's swing, but it's not going to be doing a whole lot. With a minute left to go, map control in favor of the offense.
Definitely so, but that's only really the southern portion of the map, and that's really all that MousePlayz actually do need to try to pull off the successful execute, but Joom is right on their case. 2 successful impact tricks, I believe, but those Selmas were actually placed on the study wall that is shared with the bar, so now they have direct access to bar, so they can plant that diffuser really, really safely, but they have a couple of insurmountable odds that they have to face up against. It's still a 4v3 situation, and the Toxic Babes from Wishmaster will just start to be tossed out. Now Soulseeker and Joom jumping the gun and removing Sportos and So Close straight off the face of the earth. And the last man alive is Bobby, who is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Soulseeker is going to be one to nail the coffin on that particular round. FWB, they're definitely clapping back, and they've got one more round to go before we sit at an even scoreline of 5-5.
This is going to be a very close Villa game. I believe we're now guaranteed to see all 12 rounds. And this is just exactly what you'd expect from these teams. They're going to be trying to put it all on the line to be able to get that spot in the Benelux Cup group stages. My bad, sorry there that.
Happens. Our bodies are weird, uncontrollable things sometimes. I know the feel.
Sometimes, especially I'm still in recovery mode after a long shift last night.
Yep, that, quite literally, we were working the graveyard shift last night, but heck, every single one of these moments is worth it, and I feel really, really bad and a bit upset because Dark was just teasing us with the Spetsnaz operator fuse, and instead we're going to be seeing an IQ. How innovative.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few brought out last night, and especially if any side here on Villa will work to benefit the Spetsnaz wielding, or cluster charge wielding operator, it's going to be Kitchen, where the cluster charge can be used to displace operators from key positions, like, just playing by the bomb chassis of A, as well as burn away tremendous amounts of utility. That's really kind of what those cluster charges are really ideal for, but of course, a lot of kind of problems with bringing a fuse, but they aren't going to opt to bring that risk, as they will be sticking out that IQ. So, Kitchen is going to be a very important map, because we saw the aggression come out from FWB on the attack, where we saw, I believe, I can't quite remember who it was, I think it was a Soul Seeker in the Sophia who just darted into the secret window, but he couldn't find any success.
So was that Soul Seeker?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was either Soul Seeker or Zend. It was one of those two guys who just darted in through that memorial window. Uh-oh.
Did that happen? Did that happen for you as well?
Yeah, that happened for me as well.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I can still see what's going on. Can you still see what's going on?
I can't see what's still going on. I cannot see anything for the time being. Oh, and it's back. Okay.
Right, hold up.
Crisis has been averted. What?
So, we've just had a bit of a desync. Are we gonna on air sync test?
I'm on
air sync test?
I'm on 9 seconds, 8, 7.
Well, some things went wrong on my end. Well,
that's unlucky.
Yeah.
That's unlucky. Slight little hiccup, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll try to fix this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, well, our RTMP wasn't playing all that nice, so we had to swap off to YouTube for the time being, and well, everyone knows how YouTube is, rather inconsistent, but either way, MousePlayz, they've unfortunately suffered the opening frag. Miss Mary has been wiped clean off the face of the earth, and now FWB, they are trying to hold on to the top floor to the best of their abilities, and they are making quick work of MousePlayz so far. Bobby Boy's going to find one onto Wishmaster, doing his best to fight back, but from down below, it's Dutch has a decent angle onto Bobby Boy, but can't land the headshots for the time being, as a C4 will be tossed out, but it's unfortunately not going to hit its target. Now Dark gonna whip out that electronics detector to see what he can come across, but Joom is going to find so close. Diffuser has been dropped inside of Astro, and now Dark and Bobby Boy, they're on janitor duty, and they have to try to clean up the mess which has been laid out in front of them.
It's going to be a tricky one to clean up, but surely they're going to be, or at least make a good attempt of it. Joom going to land a whole lot of damage in the dark, caught in a horrible crossfire. Well, I spoke too soon. Joom and Soul Seeker are going to completely deny the operation cleanup. It's going to be able to guarantee control of the top floor and the round, tying us up 5 rounds apiece. Both teams having significant rallies against each other. Both teams can't get any daylight between each other. Round 11, one team will guarantee themselves at least match point, and that benefit that comes with this trophy statue will be the side of choice from FWB. This is going to be yet another close game here on Villa. I mean, would we have it any other way? Of course not. It's all to play for. Of course, that fantastic opportunity, the Benelux Cup, is all on the line. So we're going to see similar lineups once more, but more importantly, what strategy will be employed? 6 picks are out, and Montaigne of Dark. So this is going to be the first time the shield operator is out. And what work can they do? Well, I like to refer to him as the French lockpick. He can often break through any defense just by extending that shield and walking forward. He tends to love to stand ominously in doorways, applying pressure just by his existence. So can he do so here, or will his friends with benefits be able to adapt to the little rocks, walking them down?
Oh man, you really hate to be on the receiving end of a Montaigne. I mean, all he really has to do is just stand there, look menacing, and then just inspire fear into the defenders. And the moment that the sound cue comes around that he drops his shield, well, oh, it's gonna be a really dicey situation for the defenders. But obviously, As far as Villa is concerned, it can be a rather claustrophobic map in times. I mean, there are a lot of CQB areas of the map, and specifically when it comes to trophy and statuary, specifically Wolf and that red landing, are perfect traps to set up. If you just place a C4 down below, that slow-moving Montaigne is as good as a sitting duck, and if FWB are able to time it just right, they'll find themselves sitting with a very, very early advantage with a Montaigne off the board.
Yeah, this Montaigne is going to be the most interesting operator choice we've seen this evening. Can he be used to optimal effect? And well, I mean, that's just going to be all that we're going to see of the storyline unraveling, and can FWB adapt to it? If there is any time, though, to bring out an operator like the Montaigne, it is going to be 5-5, where you're going to be battling for every inch of control to try and get yourselves the match point. And with everything on the line, we keep mentioning, anyway, tries to Doom in a great position. He's not going to hold his trigger as Finn finds one. Yes, he does. He's not going to be able to get number 2, however. Oh, no. Unfortunate from him, but however, he's going to escape with 1 kill to his name. And, well, he ain't too happy in chat. You see that as Sportos falls to him. He's going to get slain out by Miss Marie. So he isn't going to spot out the Montaigne yet, but of course Legion mines scattered all across the map are going to make it very difficult for the French Mountain to do much progression. Miss Marie on top of Astro Stairs, backing up Dark, so a gun is going to be helping make the shield's ingression towards side that little bit easier. But it's now going to be a lot of map control gathered for essentially free from MousePlayz, and can they capitalize on the early advantage of getting out Doom? Of course, everything in terms of player count the same, but Doom, a very active gun, and he's been problematic so far.
Has definitely been really problematic, and this is a bit more of an unorthodox approach that MousePlayz are trying to employ, and FWB, they are certainly on their case. That Astro push is really not going to see the light of day, as Miss Marie has unfortunately lost her life as well, and Dark unable to land those hipfire shots. Putting Dutch at roughly a quarter of HP is simply not enough to clean him up, but Zoned is going to strike. I believe he cleaned up Miss Marie, who was just injured, and So Close is also going to get the immediate refrag onto Zend. We're technically in a 2v2 scenario right here and right now. Wishmaster and Soulseeker, they have to try to wind down the clock as much as possible, and the Pokeballs will start to be tossed out, but Dark will continue to persist as Wishmaster comes swinging around inside of Master Bedroom, can't land the shots onto So Close, and he's not looking the right way. He should be given a ticket for jaywalking, because Dark has managed to just clean up 2 of those last defenders, and now it's all down to Soulseeker ascending the red staircase to try to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
If he can just wait for Dark to attempt the plant, it's going to be the most opportune moment he gets. And we hear the plant attempted by Montaigne and shield lower, but he has it on the back like a turtle and So Close there on the active cover. Well, MousePlayz, very well done. The Montaigne worked to great avail, and guess what? Match point now for them. Can they close out Villa and force us all the way to Oregon? Or will we see yet another Villa go all the way to overtime? You never quite know.
Now you really don't know. I mean, judging by how tight the matches were last night, I wouldn't be surprised if we were actually going to see overtime right here and right now to kick things up. I mean, we could potentially see overtime. I really wouldn't want it any other way. I just want to milk this match out for maximum entertainment value, and seeing as well FWB, they are still on the favored side. They will be moving back to AVG, which has seen some success, definitely enough for them to pull us to overtime. It's definitely going to take all 12 rounds of regulation, but still, we'll just have to wait and see. Not all that many, adaptations or philosophy changes in terms of operator lineups. And as you can see right there, Joom really living up to his name. 14 frags to his name is just absolutely massive. And on the side of MousePlayz, things are much more evened out. Dark, So Close, and Bobby, they've all got 9 to their name. Sportos not too far behind, and so is Miss Marie as well, who, by the way, has 10 assists. That's a lot of assists.
Oh, that is like
that's
an
a lot
insane
of
amount of assists. That to me just shows that Miss Marie's been involved in a hell of a lot of gunfights, or at least put enough bullets down range to land at least some damage on a whole lot of people. That's a bizarre number of assists, actually. Wow. I don't think I've seen that many ever. Okay. But of course, match point now for MousePlayz. Can Miss Marie capitalize on those assists, or perhaps turn several of them into kills? We can only wait and see. But a good drone position there from the Ash, trying to get as much information gathered. Leave it there as late round flank cover. Doom cracking open the window, gonna get that for sound cues, but of course, he's gonna prep it for a potential jump out. T5, a masterful weapon on in the hands of Malusi. Can he use it to great avail? I'd imagine he certainly will be able to as well. There he is. Doom's going to find Miss Marie. And no extra assist, I believe. Yes, he did. If we saw him get detected, he's sent out the window. And he's going to be... He sent out the window, got back in super quickly, and finds himself back on a position on red stairs. So almost like nothing happened at all, except for Miss Marie's no longer going to be in the round. So that's going to be a big blow. Again, as I mentioned, Ash has so much utility, not just the R4 in the hands of Miss Marie, I believe the G36 was in use, but that's 3 flashbangs, 2 breaching charges no longer available. Gonna make this late game, or at least this late round, a little bit trickier, but Dark can get so much control for basically free. And he's just gonna waltz on in the study and use that shield as Zen is gonna try and brawl inside of art room, and no. Well, he's gonna be slow on the draw. His head is gonna get lost as Sporos finds him. He's gonna tie us up. But, oh no.
Oh no, Soul Seeker just narrowly missing those shots onto Dark's head, and well, I believe that both players actually missed the majority of their shots. Nobody actually landed a single bullet onto the opposition, which is, well, okay. No harm, no foul. But either way, MousePlayz, they do have the HP disadvantage, and now the Toxic Babes being tossed out from Wishmaster is going to keep the attackers at bay for roughly 30 seconds if he decides to toss them out in quick succession. Other than that, well, Jim is going to be trying to pull off that same exact impact trick we saw in the previous round, disposing of, well, quick maths, what is that, 9 different Excaris pellets, leaving just 3 more to detonate. Certainly not enough to waltz back into bar. And we can also see that Dark is ingressing towards the bar bomb site itself, only to lose his head in the process. And now FWB, they are well on track for pushing this to overtime.
Certainly so. 40 seconds ago, Sporos on a slither of HP, and well, that's going to be able to shut him down. There's Zofia trying to charge in for the refrag on the Soul Seeker, but it doesn't matter. The Jaeger being very passive and patient, looking for twisting and turning from the Bobby Boy. He's going to try and brawl, wins out the fight. Yes, he does. FWB reduced to only 3 members, so close. Going to make that to 2. He's going to be able to try and close this one out for his team. A 2v2 an equal playing field. So close! Second of the round in Dutch. The last man standing. Maestro has an order. Can he make it sing? However, 81 rounds. Only 2 bodies to find. He's gonna have to isolate a 1v1 or hope to God they can line up perfectly for him. Time ticking away and a drone comes out. So close, he's gonna take a chunk of HP, but a plot behind the bar, a reasonably safe position to do so. He's got to charge in and commit. He's gonna be very compromised if he does so. He's gonna twist and turn. He gets no one. No, he doesn't. A Bobby Boy's there to collect it as MousePlayz get the map number 1. Villa is in their favor. As that's gonna be 1-0 in terms of the series for them. Moving on to Oregon next.
That was one of the most outstanding recoveries that we had seen from MousePlayz, and I've got to say that in that last round, things were looking so shaky, especially with Dark trying to waltz into bar, right, with his shield lowered. It was not extended because there was only a crouch hold to work with, and he decided to push into bar without having all that much assistance from the rest of his teammates, and they still managed to pull it off. That is what we love to see from MousePlayz. Heck, that is what they are rightfully known for, just pulling, well, pardon the pun, a mouse out of their hat instead of a rabbit. It's still another kind of rodent, but hey, it works.
Oh, man. Did I hear you make that joke?
Not only did you hear it, our observer heard it, and Twitch chat has also just heard it.
Well, I apologize for them. They have the misery of hearing that. Now, at least you're not going to have to hear me explain what key switches are to 2 doors tonight.
Yeah, if you want Whippet's lecture on what key switches are, make sure to watch the VOD of last night's broadcast. He actually did a relatively decent job of explaining what key switches are to a noob like me, but we're not going to go through that endeavor yet again. We've got map number 2, Oregon, on our hands, but before we jump into that, we are going to actually take a short little break so we can sort out the clean feed properly and ensure the best stream quality for you guys. So we are going to be back in just a jiffy. Make sure to grab yourself a beverage, a snack, stretch your legs, and we'll see you back here in just a few. Alrighty, so we're back. We got our clean feed up working properly, and well, for those of you guys who may just be tuning in, MousePlayz were able to take the first map away from FWB on Villa. 7-5 was the final score line, and aside from that, well, we are going to be hopping into Oregon for just a second, but Twitch chat, I've got an interesting question to ask you guys. Me and Whippet were just discussing the possibility of having Google Eyes stuck to Milosh. What do you guys think?
Well, the obvious answer is yes. We're
Yeah.
going to stick. I mean, I don't really care what anyone says. We are sticking googly eyes to my cardboard cutout of a cow named Milosh.
Yeah. It's definitely going to happen. Yeah.
I can't even. I remember at one point it had a full name. Like Milosh had a full triple barrel name, and I've forgotten what it is.
A triple-barreled name.
It was Milosh something, and I can't remember what it was.
Was it like was it Spanish? Was it Latin American? What was kind of the descent of the name supposed to be like? Or the background, I should say.
I let Discord call decide it, so I have no idea what it was.
Oh, goodness.
But more importantly, we're here on Oregon, and the first operator play. First operator play, yet again, Thatcher. Now, I wonder, what would your bet be about Thatcher's ban rate so far in these qualifiers?
Well, I actually don't know the number off the top of my head because I don't have the Wikipedia page open, but it's sitting at roughly 77%.
Well, you're almost right. 75% dead on.
Dang.
Thatcher has been banned so far in these qualifiers, so people aren't a big fan of Mike Baker, apparently, as he's not going to get a whole lot of action. That's an odd one, actually calling an operator by their real name. I promise I don't read the lore tabs. Maverick and Wamai, the ex-operator's out, and have one more defender to go. And who shall it be? Mira, maybe?
Mira, yeah, probably Mira. And there she is. My favorite
Mira.
Spanish lady will not see the light of day yet again. I am a big sad moment right now.
I mean, she's been banned. Mira has been banned 87.5% of the time here in these quals.
Yep.
87.5. No one likes the Mira-wielding Spaniard. That's interesting. Another interesting one is, what would you believe the second most banned operator's been so far in these games?
Oh, on the defense, you mean, or on attack?
Yes, on the defense.
Oh, on the defense. Oh, that's a good question. It's not Echo because he's auto-banned.
Yeah. Well, he's the most banned, technically speaking.
Technically speaking, he is the most banned. I actually don't know. It's odd enough not Malusi because she has seen quite a lot of plays. Definitely not Maestro, so who would be next on the list?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, really?
Yeah, 37.5, and interesting enough, Malusi shares the category with being 12.5 out of the time.
Dang.
Not a whole lot of bans for the T5 wielding queen. As I just like calling it. It's one of the nicknames I've given her, and well, I'm gonna milk it dry until she loses it for the MP5, and well, a weaker weapon. Unfortunate, but Kids Dorms are first sight for Friends with Benefits. Can they string together a more successful run of the defense than they did on Villa? Certainly hope so. Oregon. Well, actually, since I have the Wikipedia stats up ahead of me, side statistics for Oregon.
Oh,
it is
boy.
going to be, wow, far closer than I'd actually expect. 54.5% of the time the defense win, leaving 45.5% for the attack. So almost 50-50. So it's going to be a very interesting game to play out. No inherent advantages, or no real ones, at least in terms of stats. But on paper, very different to in-game. As we get into the action, Doom already losing a chunk of HP in aggressive play and rocking that Red Bull skin.
I bought that skin. I bought that skin back in Velvet Shell, and I'm so glad that I have it, and the vast majority of the Siege community doesn't have it, and they had to resort to actual skin giveaways from popular streamers and popular content creators to have a chance at grabbing their codes. I was one of the first. I was.
I mean, you could sell that account.
I've got so much junk on that account, elite skins, everything. I don't even know, like, what would one of those accounts actually go for, given that I'm also, like, level 310 plus?
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever even seen you play Siege. That's an interesting. But of course, we'll stop talking about Two Doors account for now. Was the first engagement coming out, and well, Doom, the victor of it, Dark falls to the hands of the Jaeger. Doom getting his opening kill of the matchup. I believe he may have got even the opening kill of the series so far, and a very active gun at that. I think he finished around 14 kills last time out, potentially even more.
No, it was definitely 16 kills in Villa. Definitely.
Well, he's been one of the most prominent guns so far, and of course, very high ranking in FPL. I haven't checked the most recent standings, but
Neither
of course,
have I just simply couldn't find them, which is a bit of an oddity. I don't know what's happened to them.
Neither do I. I actually didn't. I was just seeing the screenshots on Twitter, but someone who's not going to be able to see any more light of day is going to be another victim of Doom. Miss Marie falls outside of the window. That's going to be Sophia off the board. And Doom very active so far. Zen finds one that's so closed. And this is already looking like a lockout here from Friends with Benefits. They're having a very dominant hold upstairs. An aggressive swing from the Valkyrie. Going to be no flawless round. Soul Seeker slain out by the AK-12. But now Bobby Boy has the Kali, the large 300 Winchester rifle. Oh, one shot to the torso, at least one DB, you know. And Sporos trying to brawl his way. Default camera finally removed, but 50 seconds to work with as Utility drains away with that shield. Now a non-factor, but an aggressive swing here from Doom. Can he get the fight? Ooh. Yes, he does. He wins at 3 for him. When it's going to be a complete another lockout here as Dutch gets the final kill with the SP11. Friends with Benefits, round number 1. They do so in an emphatic fashion. Doom, 3K to start off the matchup.
That was a really, really decent hold coming out from FWB starting off on the defense, except for one small little oversight which had immediately been rectified, and that was the white staircase, right? Because Bobby Boy, he immediately noticed that the white staircase was left completely empty coming or on the defensive side, and he could just waltz up that staircase. I'm not even sure if there was a proxy alarm over there, or if there was barbed wire or anything else of the works, just anything else, any kind of secondary gadget, and he just decided to take full advantage of that free real estate. But at the exact same time, Joom, man, so quick to respond, quite literally just faster than your local emergency response team, shuts down Bobby and then finds 2 more to close off the round. 3 kills so very early on to start off this man's Oregon match is really what you'll love to see, and especially when it comes to second floor dorms, it has a really, really mixed win rate for the defense and the offense, sitting at roughly 50%. So the fact that FWB have been able to get that right off the bat is going to prove to be such a huge boon working in their favor down the long run, and because of that, they have the opportunity to move downstairs over towards Laundry to hopefully build up a win streak.
Did you just describe Doom as faster than your local emergency services?
Yes, I did, and I stand by it.
I mean, he was certainly quick on the draw, but I think he's more of a man that likes to set the fires than he does to put them out, as he's been doing so far, and setting a fire underneath MousePlayz. He's been
okay, fine. He's faster than your local emergency. I was about to. Okay, arsonist is not where my mind actually went, but it does fit the theme. I was gonna say emergency causer because he just causes emergencies.
He certainly does so, and well, whenever he's got that gun singing, it's going to be a chaotic moment. Flashbangs tossed out by Spordos and Miss Marie. Pre-fires land, but well, Doom, as we said, is so quick at the draw. Zone is going to be into the action as well. Miss Marie going to fall. Zone is second as Dark goes as well. The aggression is going to work out in favor, and already we're going to find a 5v3. 5v2, I should say. Friends with Benefits. Already looking like this round is going to be a lockout. That flash grenade is going to get stopped. I believe it has actually a smoke grenade. This is just going to be a tricky one now. Can they close this one out? He's going to try and find the engagement. Zen's going to fall. But is it all a little bit too late? It's going to be a 4v5, a 4v2, I should say.
Yeah, FWB really didn't even give MousePlayz the light of day to even set foot inside of the building, and after roughly, well, what is it, 80 seconds, they have managed to actually step foot inside of Blue Bunker, but that's quite literally as far as they are gonna get. FWB quickly shutting out this round within the span of less than 90 seconds actually to really assert their dominance so far in Oregon. It was just clean cut and dry, and they'll be moving on to one of the tertiary bomb sites, either meeting shared with kitchen or dining. We'll see exactly which one is going to be. It's dining and kitchen so far, but at the exact same time, this raw, unbridled aggression that we're seeing come out from FWB is something that we were missing on the first map, and it's something that MousePlayz seem to be struggling with, especially just right now, right off the bat.
Very much so. Just my brain is just latched onto that emergency service comment. I have to say, you were really hoping that your emergency response time is going to be as quick as Doom can find the opening frags. His last round, it was barely into the round before the first body hit the ground, I should say. And I mean, Yeah, I would be very thankful if anyone could react that quickly. June this time back on the Malusi. We saw him do so much work on Villa. Can he keep that trend rolling? Well, only time will certainly see, but Friends of Benefits looking strong here in Oregon. And they're going to certainly live up to the fact that the defense has that 5% advantage over the offense so far during the course of these qualifiers.
Just wow. Just wow, Jum. This man has been wreaking so much havoc so far, not only in Villa as well, despite the fact that they weren't able to close off map number 1 in their favor, but right here, right now, just, as I said before, right off the bat, he's just causing so much chaos, and you'll love to see it. You just love to see it. It proves for so many entertaining and memorable moments that always make it into those Siege Hub digests. I wish that Jaeger himself could, you know, sort of expand his array of content from time to time, but it is what it is.
I'm sure you've made it into a few of them as well.
I have on Siege Hub, never on Jaeger himself.
Honestly, I mean that's what we aim for sometimes, just to get our casting clips in there. Whoever clips half of the things that have got me in there, you know, massive shout out to you. I don't know who they are.
It's probably Obawaka.
I mean, that man, Obawaka, the Twitter AI, but speaking of someone that's not having a great old time, so close on low HP as well as Dark. It's not a great start of the round so far. The Alder reigns off in the distance. The Ash and the Habana left on such low HP. And the Habana seemingly all the way out in Africa, so far away from the action. And we're going to see the stronghold out here. The Alder trying to claim its first victim, I believe. A prone Cali. And, well, that's the last thing you'd expect, the Winchester on the ground. But, well, a headshot with the most powerful weapon in the game, certainly enough to be able to shut down the Maestro. And he is not going to be able to see any more action in this round as his helm is breaking to the main wall. There's going to be a lot of control taken so far, an early man advantage. Of course, the HP still in favor of MousePlayz.
Zen. You should say, but yeah, well, Soulseeker's also got something to say about that. He shuts down Miss Marie. I'm not exactly sure if she was able to place down all of those air jabs in time, but Dark is clapping back, and he will remove Jum straight off the face of the earth. That is the frag that they were initially set out to grab for themselves, and now they have regained the man advantage. They're starting to make strides in terms of claiming map control to themselves. As you can see, they've worked their way inside of showers, but I believe that that rotational has been patched up that leads into dining room. But Soulseeker right here on the hallway, he can still hold out and keep that hallway in check for as long as possible, but MousePlayz, they're ready to start setting the execution in motion. All the while though, Bobby will find Soulseeker with his pants around his ankles, and now Sportos has the opportunity to start initiating the defuse plant. It will be finalized, and now MousePlayz have transitioned us into a post plant as Dutch will be able to clean up Bobby, putting some 3v2, but it's all down to FWB. Can they play the retake?
It's a bit tricky what they do so, and they got the players out by the window as well, boosted up on the stairs instead of small tower. Wishmaster though, the first one to do it. He doesn't quite see the player by the door, and he's going to play the ultimate price. His life now gone, as Sportos finds the final on the Dutch. MousePlayz fire back, get their first round here, and Oregon is going to come as they attack the dining room. So it's going to be a tertiary site victory for them, and now they're going to have to get back to the habit of pushing the primary two sites of FWB, as we're going to be returning likely the kids' dorms, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the next bomb site as well. They haven't necessarily successfully completed a full site rotation, but they've gone through all of them, and now dorms has been unlocked yet again, so they can start, well, rebuilding that win streak that we were talking about. I mean, if this current trend actually does pick up and we see FWB only manage to actually pick up any kind of defensive wins on the second floor or the basement, then you've easily achieved yourself a 4-2 split by the time that you move on to the second half, which it's perfectly average. Nothing wrong with the 4-2 split, and then MousePlayz more than likely can achieve the exact same thing after the side swap. But obviously that is not on the menu for them tonight. They really need to find a way to properly dismantle this setup from FWB, because last time around they quite literally just got picked off one by one before they were able to make any kind of meaningful progression towards their execution onto the bomb site, which is something that they will desperately need to fix moving into this round number 4.
Certainly so, and one thing I love to highlight on Oregon is just the importance of every single round victory on the attack, at least on your opening half. I see so many times where that one victory on the attack has been super influential. And if they can have an almost flawless from the defense, the single victory that MousePlayz currently have on the attack can stand so much at advantage as the round or this game progresses on. But of course, they're certainly going to be hoping for more, as the more the merrier in terms of victories in the round count. So Kid Storm's though a tough egg to crack. We saw the aggression up the white stairs get met by Joom, and oh my, Soul Seeker almost finding the head of Dark. I think he was just secured by the gun locker, and I believe he was. But Joom playing a dance to the devil, aggressive on the Cali. He might just charge out. Yes, he does! Oh my, Joom! Aggression summarized perfectly. And the Cali trying to watch very cautiously in case the Jaeger swings aggressively yet again. Well, that's going to be the fuser stuck on the master's bedroom balcony. And Dark couldn't even try capitalize on their own information, as Joom's going to be able to find his way back inside of sight. Damage already done. And time to sit tight and hold on the map control.
Joom has really proved to be a true force to be reckoned with. I mean, so far from these 4 rounds, he's got 6 kills to his name. That's an average of, what, 1.5 kills per round so far, which is just absolutely galactic. And you can definitely expect that number to just skyrocket as the rest of Oregon progresses, though. And it's going to be Soulseeker to actually shut down Dark, the entry fragger on the side of MPZ. And unfortunately, the player that was over by Armory, Hallway, I believe that was actually Miss Mary, was not able to secure the immediate refrag. MousePlayz, they're looking a little bit worse for wear right now. FW seemingly has them in check. They're definitely keeping the attackers at bay and not letting them progress through. However, they have managed to get Closet open. C4 will be tossed out, and it will light the living heck out of So Close, but he'll shut down Joom, the man, the myth, the legend, to put us in a 4v3. The odds have been stabilized ever so slightly, and surprisingly, So Close is able to just persist through that smoke as it slowly dissipates, but Soulseeker will claim the life of Mary, and that's going to put us yet again in a 4v2 situation. And MousePlayz, well, I'm going to reiterate what you said. They just can't crack this egg.
It's a very tricky one to crack, and they're really looking to do so, but they haven't done the very traditional method. They haven't tried to crack it open in the way you'd expect by pushing inside a tower as well as getting control of the master bedroom, but they're going to be able to try and find some foothold. So Close, yet again, active on Zafia, or Haban, I should say, finding the kill on the smoke of Wishmaster. Soulseeker's going to find So Close, and now it's all done to Bobby Boy. The Cali in a dream, SMG in hand, gets number 1 in the Zen, finds number 2. Yes, he does! It could be a heroic play of 1v1 now versus Soulseeker, but no! Heroic shut down by FriendsWith Benefits. Round 4 slides in their favor.
What an outstanding hold yet again, but at the exact same time, MousePlayz, it's still a bit of a head scratcher as to why they're constantly trying to pull off the exact same attack strategy and they just get punished for it. I mean, this is the second time that they were tasked with attacking the top floor, and they took the exact same approach as they did previously. Push in through Trophy, push in through Closet, and then also just go for a default plant over next to that foosball table. The one thing that is missing, the special ingredient, or I should say the secret ingredient, okay fine, it's actually no secret, but the special ingredient, that third, or depending on how you look at it, the second prong for that strategy is missing, which, as you stated before previously, it's that attic take, which simply they just haven't been committing all that much resources to. I'm not exactly sure if that has to do with the fact that they don't want to actually go through that headache of a process to get rid of any breaching denial from down below over by stage, because as you can see, Maverick is off the playing field, so just blowtorching through that attic wall, it's not a possibility. And yes, you've got other hard breachers to work with, but when you have to go up against a Kaid, a Mute, or a Bandit, that job seemingly becomes much more difficult. So I can understand their reasoning for wanting to specifically push through Trophy and Closet, but it's just not the right formula to get the job done.
Certainly not. Now, I want to just pull back. I haven't heard as many references to eggs in my life in that round.
I see. You're talking about our little chat that we had last night about the egg as well.
Well, yes, I mean, yeah. It just if you listen, if anyone watched the OGA pit qualifiers and realized there was a incredible amount of eggs in chat, just the word egg spammed in chat, and how Stokes, the NAL caster, has an emote just called egg. Well, I'm sadly going to be the reason for that. That was an interesting thing. But it's so bizarre hearing it come up after our conversation last night about how it's a long-winded story, and I gathered all the sources last night, so I have the full one, and perhaps might even explain it to you once this broadcast is over. But of course, more importantly, the game at hand, Montaigne brought.
More
No.
importantly, we're gonna get a twit longer from you sooner or later.
I'll make it to it longer, explaining how the egg is a thing. But Montaigne brought to try and pick the lock of this bunker defense, and it's gonna be dark yet again. We saw him very prominent so far. Finds the Valkyrie camera, gets removed. A C4 tossed out, no damage done even, but it's gonna be time delayed. The shield of Zend is gonna be gone, and he's not gonna have any cover. Gas canister tossed out, and he's gonna be able to, well, okay, phasing through a reinforcement, but he's gonna get it up nonetheless. So that's going to be elbow, at least reasonably well controlled. Is so close, breathing a little bit of that toxic gas. Going to take some minute damage for it. The Montaine's going to get more aggressive as we go on. Is so close, more damage done. It's going to be a complete dedication to the push, though, and they're not even going to try and push for stage or tower control. It's just going to be all 5 bodies trying to brute force it away inside a bunker. It's been a very successful one so far, but time will be the essence as it ticks away slowly. The life essence, the blood of the team so far. It's been a tricky one. It's the opening kill goes in favor of Dutch as Doom swings and finds Miss Marie. And this isn't the start you want. Your Montaigne falls, well as your Ash, and it's 5v3. 1:15 on the clock.
I don't know what to think. I mean, FWB, they're just aggressively peeking everything. Just dare I say they are dancing with the devil, and they seem to get away with it more often than not. I'm not exactly sure if that has to do with the fact that, as you said, MousePlayz, they're brute forcing their way through, and they just find themselves in a situation where they have to fatally funnel themselves through a specific avenue, and they just become sitting ducks for the defense. But at the exact same time, you're the attackers. You have to dictate the pace, not the defense. This isn't how it's supposed to play out, and FWB, they're not being properly punished for it. Joom sitting on the tower staircase is going to pounce momentarily onto Spardos, and there he goes. It's a 1v5 situation. Bobby Boy left with that ballistic launcher, has to try to pull a rabbit out of his hat to try to clutch this one out, but he's not having it. He's stuck inside of elbow. And
my God,
no,
look at all these silhouettes.
just an absolute firing squad has been lined up, but none of them are going to shoot. Instead, it's going to be a plastic explosive to get the job done.
Everyone wanted a piece of the action there. 2 C4s, a smoke grenade. Well, Cali didn't have much of a chance to survive that one, and MousePlayz find themselves in a very non-advantageous position. 5 rounds in. The scoreline 4-1 in favor of their opposition. Of course, remembering as the benefits didn't have the success on Villa, so they're going to be up against the wall, and they want to be able to try and force our hand all the way to Clubhouse. And if they can continue this tempo, they're going to be doing a fantastic job of it. I don't know, all up in the air though, because the defense win rate on Oregon is so high, it could just completely turn on its head as we see that side swap come out after this round.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what tends to happen. It's often, it's often rare that you don't see a vast majority of teams be able to actually replicate that same success that they had on their opening half on the opposite side when the side swap comes through. I mean, as things stand right now, if the FWB are able to play defense in the current manner that they are, then by no stretch of the imagination should they have much difficulty with replicating the exact same results on the offensive side of things, because they know their own playstyle, and if they consider their playstyle to be the peak form of defense, then they can effectively just wreak havoc upon any other sort of minor form that could be brought out, if you kind of get the gist that I'm going for.
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good.
But we're going to see this the tertiary site, if I can speak properly.
A tertiary.
Tertiary site brought out. I'm Irish. Stuff with THs is sometimes difficult for me to say in, well, a non-difficult way. You know what I'm saying.
Sure. Let's.
It's, you know, the classic 3 and 3. Saying 3 instead of 3 every time is very difficult for me. It took a lot of training to do.
Oh God, how long?
A long time. I tried my best to get rid of my accent, so I don't sound too Irish, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but that's why people love you, because you're just a full-blown Irish. I mean, I remember when we first met each other for the first time, you know who you reminded me of? Terrorizer.
Oh,
the
God.
YouTuber. Exactly, you reminded me exactly of that dude.
Well, clearly I failed in my effort to get rid of my bog hopper accent. It's not a great one where I'm from as well. It's not one of the classic Irish accents, but of course, what a great way to find some waffles. Miss Marie is going to end our spree of waffle by getting some action on the board. Is Zend first to fall. That's your Maestro off the board, and that's going to be control of showers, at least somewhat forfeited. The Alda, great weapon at being able to hold it down as 2 doors plonks his coffee cup on the table with a lot of force.
Yeah, I kind of just swung, and my little spoon that's inside my coffee cup just kind of did a thing. But either way, MousePlayz have been able to claim control of showers relatively quickly, and that that rotation has not been patched up. That means that Bobby Boy can take full advantage of it and exploit it to the best of his abilities. Now MousePlayz, they have created a real opportunity for themselves to get that execution in motion, and Soulseeker, stuck between a rock and a hard place, over by that hallway, is going to be shut down by Dark, and over by the school bus window, it's So Close, who will unfortunately lose his life at the hands of Joom. And now, in a 4v2 situation, the FWB defenders have to try to close this one off in their favor to ensure that 5-1 split moving into the side swap. I'm not sure if it's all that feasible though, as Sportos will start initiating the defuse plant, and we will be transitioning into a post plant, I thought, but Joom had something to say about it instead. Diffuser will be recovered momentarily, but Joom is going to get a little bit too overly ambitious, and Miss Mary is there to end the life of Dutch. MousePlayz, they're successfully going to claim their second round, which is, well, as I stated before, perfectly average for an Oregon opening half on the attack.
Very much so. Well, MousePlayz now finally going to be able to try and utilize the 5% advantage that they have on paper here on the defense of Oregon. But can the offense of FWB break through what's often a fortress to the defense? Can they have a major amount of success? If they want to be able to get us all the way to map 3 of Clubhouse, they'll have to do so. And I really want to highlight Joom's performance so far. A fantastic effort from him. And once we get a chance to pull up the full menu, thanks to Noah, I'm sure he'll... he's listening to us anyway.
Yeah.
Imagine... I feel bad for every observer we have. And yes, there he is, Joom, 11-3, leading the charge for his team, and actually the most in the lobby as well, as Wishmaster yet to get off the mark. I'm sure he'll do so very quickly, unless I've just cursed him.
Oh,
really
goodness
is,
gracious. Oh, man. I swear, if Joom isn't able to get off 11 kills in the next couple of rounds, I'm going to send you a formal letter of apology, because our caster curses, they genuinely just know no bounds.
I have, during this current AEG season, every time I've talked about someone in the kills or even made a prediction, it's always went right, or it's always went in the way that, it was almost like a caster blessing. But every time you join me here on the virtual caster desk, it's always just, we can't say anything about the action, or at least player stat lines, because, well, it's seemingly the forces above just don't want anything we say to be right, and a bit of traffic by the shield inside of Attic. Is Joom leading the charge for his team, both in terms of kills as well as pace so far, charging up to the rappel, not going to even do the vault spot. He wants to get into the action as quick as possible, and if he can do so, he might be able to catch a few members napping, but a drone out first to be cautious, and spot the mute jammers as well. Look at all the pressure already being directly applied to Master Bedroom. They're not even going to attempt for a tower take. It's going to be a big fight to try and get control on Joom, the quickest man to the draw. Sportos falls, and he's got to get Master Bedroom control for his efforts. Joom, he's not going to be cursed by us as of yet. He's going to get that kill, and the Salmon, the charge is thrown out, but they're going to get caught by that mute jammer, of course. So it's going to be a little bit of effort to help clear that jammer off the board.
Definitely so. I mean, they can still move downstairs in towards Classroom and get it from down below, which is exactly what they have done, but Miss Marie, she knows how to properly impact Drake the Closet Breach and will dispose of, I believe, at least one set of Selmas for the time being. But if she pokes her head, if she exposes a single pixel of her head in the right, or in the wrong position, I should say, she could potentially lose it, but Dark has also worked his way downstairs and will seemingly find the Zofia, but standing up causes you to un-ADS, and Soulseeker will just, well, tap on his head, and that's going to put us in a 5v3 scenario. MousePlayz not off to the best start so far, and we are just about to surpass the halfway mark of the round. FWB making great strides and great progression so far in this opening attack.
It's just going to be an unfortunate one for the defense as of right now, and Dutch in a great position. Finally, the Selma's going to be able to get an opportunity to crack the wall with Bobby Boy, and So Close and meet a little bit of damage. I believe that's the rappel or the player on the rappel, causing a lot of chaos. Joom creeping up to the trophy door, but Miss Marie is going to be the first line of defense, and the Legion surely going to get spotted out. Will she be able to make full advantage? She's going to get a very aggressive in the doorway. Well, no, Joom, he's not going to be beaten on the draw. Shuts down Miss Marie, second in the round for him. Bobby Boy trying to duel with the player outside the breach, but of course the trophy's now being left exposed. The player by the bottom of white could lurk as well, but So Close there to shut down Sophia of So Closed. The last remaining operators, the SAS, and Doom falls as well. Smoke canister tossed out of C4, not going to hit its mark. Both are so close. He's going to try and pull a Stewie inside the smoke. He's going to get slain out. Oh no! Caught in the vapor, a canister now. So close, trying to rely on his utility to do the work. It's not going to hit the mark as we hear the track slingers land. As Zen sticks out the plant now, it's all down. He's so close on the smoke. He's got no toxic canisters left to play with. What work can he do?
It's just so unfortunate that that toxic gas didn't connect with Zend as he was planting the diffuser. I mean, he started, by the time that that smoke had actually gone off, there were roughly 4 to 5 seconds left on the diffuse plant, which should have actually been enough time to put the ace 6 feet down under. It was just so unfortunate for the last remaining defender on the side of MousePlayz that they weren't able to thread the needle in that particular plant situation. I really got a feel for So Close over there. He could have definitely clutched out that 1v3. We have seen quite a lot of heroics from him in previous matches throughout the qualifiers, but sometimes Ubisoft and the game just don't work in your favor.
Certainly not. And well, we saw as he was vaulting through the smoke canister, or the smoke grenade, his shotgun blast was so almost perfectly aligned to blind fire in. He could have been a proper smoke criminal, but unfortunately, he isn't going to get rewarded with that fat bankroll, as the heist didn't work out. His friends at Benefits 5-2 scoreline. MousePlayz got a little bit of work to do if they want to be able to close out this series here in Oregon, but certainly not beyond them. Oregon having that massive advantage, or at least minute advantage on the defense. It's so bizarre to me that looking at our stat lines for so far the qualifiers, that Oregon doesn't have, or has a more even win ratio between attack and defense than Villa did. That's something that's super interesting to me as of now, and what we're seeing, Friends of Benefits, really showing that perhaps the stats on Liquipedia are incredibly accurate, because the defense haven't had the best of times being able to deal with that aggressive play that Friends of Benefits have brought out, as well as them dropping 2 rounds of their own. But it all came from those tertiary sites.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Villa has been around for the better part of 2 to 3 years or something like that. It's, yeah, it's just one of those maps that people have far more experience with compared to the reworked Oregon. I mean, yeah, it's still reminiscent of the old, but in its entirety, it just plays out completely differently. And even though, how long has this map actually been in the competitive pool for? Like roughly 6 to 7 months? Maybe 8 months?
I believe Oregon came into rotation during either June, July, early summer.
Oh, okay. Early summer. Wow, it felt like much longer. But either way,
everything this year has felt like super long.
But either way, you know, this map, it's still going through a minute experimental phase. Not everything has been completely fleshed out yet, and we will sooner or later actually find and discover the proper ways to attack and defend these bomb sites. All in due time, though, but this elbow and blue bunker strategy has really caught on ever since its introduction, and it's glad to see that MousePlayz are doing their absolute best to keep the attackers at bay for the time being, who seemingly are almost exclusively pushing through blue bunker itself, with I believe the sole exception being, I'm not exactly sure, that's Dutch over by the tower staircase, who is going to be the core player to assist this take as Joom finds the opening frag onto Bobby.
Joom has just been the biggest nuisance that they've dealt with so far. If you peek him, show him a pixel, this man with an Ash just been able to shut everyone down, all the utility tossed over the player, and elbow so close under pressure, but Miss Marie finds one of her own. But
so narrow!
Oh my
God.
My heart was in my mouth there. I thought if one misplaced footstep and Miss Marie would have been at least down by the track stingers. So close, doing a great job of burning away time. His first toxic canister tossed out. And of note though, the ADS at the bottom of the shield, so there's 1 charge left, so he's still going to be having that extra bit of protection before he's displaced. And he has to cover the Maestro inside of Freezer to help lock his position down, and yet he's still opting to stay inside of Elbow and not reinforce it, as Dark's going to hear both those Legion Mice detonate. Joom deciding to pull out that pesky pick, and he's going to try and work towards getting control. Pillar now falling in favor of FWB, but what can he do? Joom's going to find a second. Miss Marie falls. She didn't have a whole lot of HP to play with, and not going to have any more now. A great crossfire setup between Dark and Sportos, but will it be enough to slow down this push? There's 20 seconds left on the clock, 25 now. And this is going to be the Selma cracking it open. The All is going to wait to pounce, a weapon that has such prevalence down here in the basement of Oregon. Can it do enough? Is Wishmaster's going to be able to find one of the so close now? It's all down the dark and Sporos. The All is going to be able to find one. Yes, it does. Can it sing? It needs to find 2 more to be able to close it out. It's going to be the last man standing. It's got, it's going to be Jim, the last man standing. Jim gets 1. He's got 1 more to go. Surely not. He has to do it for a quad. He looks the wrong way. Oh no, MousePlayz. Just by the skin of their teeth, get round number 8 and get 1 round closer to being able to tie us up here in Oregon.
Quite literally by the skin of their teeth as well. I mean, you were really in the moment with that play-by-play, but I honestly wanted to interrupt you for a second and just point out that throughout that 4v3 situation, almost every single person on MousePlayz was on really low HP. I mean, if you were to so much as tickle those operators, they would certainly go down. The only person who I believe was still at full HP was Spordos inside of Freezer on the Maestro, and everybody else was less than a quarter of HP, and it was seemingly really winnable for FWB. And MousePlayz, they managed to, well, almost pull off the impossible by playing really conservatively and just letting the attackers fall into their lines of sight, into their crosshairs. That's exactly what happened, and since MousePlayz had the man advantage, they were able to more properly set up these crossfires and just, well, exponentially grow their refrag potential, and that is something that unfortunately any team really can't cope with, especially when you've got roughly 30 seconds left on the timer to work with. So GG, well played so far for MousePlayz for holding on to that basement defense, but they will be moving back onto the top floor. Now, we came oh so very close to seeing some heroics last time around from so close during that plant as it was going down, but obviously this time around MousePlayz, they desperately need to win this round to ensure that FWB isn't comfortably sitting on match point.
They have to make some effort now, but a good kind of momentum changer in the last round. Kids' dorms, however, different story, a different tale of the tape, and Dark deep inside a bunker this time. An interesting decision, judging the fact that Friends with Benefits have opted to push the entirety of their brunt towards Master Bedroom, and they're doing so yet again. He's going to be tucking himself inside of Harry Potter way out of the action. I think he's going to be sitting here and waiting for the opportune moment to strike later on as this round progresses. Is this going to be very awkward and unlikely to see a drone scamper off in that territory of the map?
And also those mute jammers are really going to hinder the overall progression that FWB can make in terms of collecting info, but at the exact same time, we know for a fact that they're not necessarily a team that heavily relies on info because they can paint a mental picture for themselves as to where the majority of these defenders are, with the sole exception of, I believe, Dark, who is just off vibing somewhere else on the opposite portion of the map, I think downstairs in the basement, who they haven't really managed to catch onto for the time being. But other than that, FWB, they don't necessarily need all that much info to go off of when you've got a general idea of where all of these defenders are actually located. Second kite impact trick will come out unsuccessful, however, as Joom manages to find 2, opening things up onto both Mary and Bobby Boy. But Dark, he's clapping back. He'll find Soul Seeker and Dush to even out the mount count, and Spordos is going to join in on the fun, shutting down Joom, and suddenly FWB, they're looking a little bit worse for wear, seemingly in the blink of an eye.
And all it took was that lurking Jaeger of Dark to be able to spell Disaster 2 for the price of nothing, as his team are going to be thanking him for that great play. Zoom falls well as Dutch and Soul Seeker, last 2 standing. Wishmaster and Zend, what work can they do? Stuck outside of Master Bedroom. A minute to work with. They have drones, but yet again, these mute jammers just denying any gain of information at all. They're going to have to go in blind and rely on reflexes and gun skill alone, as Dark regrouping with his team by the top of White Stairs. A horrible cross angle held here on Wishmaster. If he decides to use this opened up wall, he's surely going to pay the ultimate price of his life. And hearing these jammers go away, Zend has no option to even crack open the wall in the attic with the Selmas. Time is ticking away. It's going to be the most important thing for the defense to hold on to. Of course, that 6th teammate that they do have, but Zend trying to weasel his way into any finding of an angle. First toxic counters are tossed out by So Close. He's only got 1 in his back pocket. And Zend is going to be able to shut down there. The Alda inside of Attic gets 1 as Sporos. As Wishmaster going to creep on in, and So Close there to cover his teammate. Round 9 in favor of MousePlayz. And this is going to be a very tricky one. But more importantly, a little bit of an update on the rest of the games so far in the bracket. I just saw they came through. The other lower bracket game, Red Falcons versus Galaxy Esports, has concluded in a 2-0 victory in favor of Red Falcons. So they will be playing against Team Zoned. in the final loser bracket match to guarantee us one of those teams a spot in the Benelux Cup group stages. So that's going to be an interesting one. But of
That
course, we are
is,
very interested.
yeah, that's
Oh,
definitely going to be an interesting one, but just keep in mind that we are not going to be covering that particular matchup because obviously this match is most likely going to go the full distance, and well, last night's broadcast was actually going on for roughly 6 hours, and I ran the risk of losing my internet privileges. So we're just going to stick with the one match for tonight.
listen, on commentary for 6 hours or like 5 to 6 hours it's a big ask because it's your throat's dying, your brain has turned to goop, but of course the game seemingly only got better as our brains began to fail us. That was such a fun night to cast last night. And of course, this day certainly hasn't disappointed as of yet. Friends with Benefits and MousePlayz playing for all the marbles. It's going to be 5-4 our scoreline. MousePlayz beginning to claw it back, one round away from tying us up, and we're seeing a very familiar scoreline as what we saw in Villa. But Doom, 18-5, the unstoppable man on Ash. He's not been able to. He's really not had anyone kind of throw up any problems for him yet. He's just been such an active gun. He's caused so much chaos, and hopefully he continues to do so, unless I've just unfortunately cursed him. But let's hope that wasn't true.
Let's hope it's definitely not true. I mean, so far, even though we've been talking up the fact that we can, unfortunately, curse the majority of these players during a broadcast, it seemingly hasn't really been popping up all too often throughout the last 2 days. But then again, I might have just jinxed everything yet again.
Yeah, I think mentioning the fact that the curse wasn't cursing people has just made the curse twice as angry now.
Yeah, but aren't two negatives technically a positive? So didn't I just bless the entire broadcast?
Well, certainly not, because Doom, the first man to fall. Very rare that he's going to be the Ash off the board early, and he's going to try and creep his way in the kitchen and pay the ultimate price. So perhaps 2 doors. You have angered the curse. Sporos finds one on the Wishmaster. And this is not the start you want if you're in the camp of Friends with Benefits. Could it be MousePlayz? Those 2 rounds and the defense they were able to grab are going to prove to be super important here, and their defensive split. Only time can tell. Wishseeker trying to get this control of Classroom. But is it all a little bit too late now because there's early casualties? Oh, Zend! Through the wall, deep on the kitchen, so close falls. He's going to be able to get one back for the side of the good. And can he find a second one? No, the Alder's going to be able to claim the life of Sophia. Sporto's second in the round. And, well, Friends with Benefits, you're going to find Bomb A, but you're going to be able to find the head of Miss Marie. Zend second for him. 3 versus 2. One isolated 1v1 away from finding us some level playing ground yet again. Can they do it? Time ticks away, and Zen going to be able to try to find the prone Maestro. He does a whole boatload of damage, but Sporos falls the Dutch, and yet again, it's going to be all the way brought back to a 2v2. It's all the play for still the track singers deployed. A minute to work with. Can Friends with Benefits recover this round, or can MousePlayz sit tight as a kill going to come out? Yes, it is. Zen, 3 in the round for him. It's all down to Bobby Boy. Can he clutch it out? No, he can't. Dutch is there to shut him down. Friends with Benefits, match point for them, and a great recovery here on Oregon.
Definitely a great recovery, and also one for the books. Zend, my lord, just slapping defenders left, right, and center really goes to show the skill that this man comes with. Really, he can be the whole package, and he can step up to the plate when it's desperately needed. And because of that, FWB, they'll now be sitting on match point for map number 2. If they win this next round, if they're able to find the right key that fits the hole that is the laundry and supply room defense from MousePlayz, then we will be moving on to Clubhouse as our decider. It's definitely going to be an exciting one, definitely one for the books as well. But let's see if MousePlayz have what it takes to potentially drag this out all the way to overtime.
I certainly believe overtime is very much on the cards, but Friends with Benefits certainly going to try their damnedest to be able to drag us all the way to Clubhouse, and that will be an interesting matchup because Clubhouse has provided some of the best games of Rainbow Six Siege in recent memory, whether it's inside the games they've casted or had to watch during key moments like the Major. I think the most notable is going to be that SI game between NIP and SSG. I remember watching that live with a group of people that Discord call, and I don't think I've ever heard a group of people react in such an incredible way when Rampy lobbed that impact grenade up to stop the plant at the 000 to be able to get Space Station Gaming all tied up. I'm all nostalgic, man. I miss the majors. I miss the proper international play of Siege.
I'm just kind of enjoying this little trip down memory lane. It's so nice that you're bringing back some of those memorable moments from the Siege majors. Truly wondrous stuff.
Well, I mean, that's the only positive thing I'm going to think I'll ever say about Space Station Gaming, because if you know anything about me, I have a very firm belief that they aren't actually your world champions, because they only tied with Nip. It was only 2-2.
Yeah, it was only 2-2. They only got granted that third map for actually walking through the winner's bracket. I genuinely believe that NIP had what it took to effectively win out that entire series.
If I'm correct, in my goblin brain science, technically speaking, Nip are your lineal SI champions, because I believe they knocked out G2 and as well as beat BDS, which is another team that got a victory over G2. I can't quite remember the full bracket, but I think in my goblin brain at one point I decided that Nip were actually your lineal champions of the world in Siege. So I'm going to stand by that one. It's not a very popular opinion, of course. SSG, a great org and a great team, of course. But, of course, more importantly, friends of benefits. Can they claw this one all the way to Clubhouse? They're doing a great job of doing so. Is Sportos already on low HP? Is Joom going to find his way, rotating all the way around the map, vaulting out that window? He's going to put some pressure in the bunker now as a Q going to line up to try and put some pressure on Sportos. It's almost like the hairpin at Monaco, but it's going to be a little bit of a trickier one, as that all the great weapon to try and just disrupt everyone. Can he do so? Joom, yet again, relocating. He's not very comfortable in any position. I wonder if he's going to try and push for Freezer.
I don't know, but the one thing that I do want to point out is credits to Joom for, actually, showing his drone parkour skills. I'm not sure if you got that, but he was busy jumping up every single node on the tower staircase, or the tower ladder, which was really, really cool. But either way, drone parkour aside, FWB have been able to at least injure Dark, who will momentarily be revived back to 20 HP, but the clock is ticking relatively fast. Every second that passes is going to work in the favor of the defense, and while they have managed to claim full control over Blue and Elbow, they will at least finally be able to clean up Sportos. That's your Alda and Evil Eyes. Well, off the playing field for the time being. Those Evil Eyes will remain static for the duration of this round as it plays out, but still, the execution will be coming in momentarily as Wishmaster will open things up by finding Bobby. Dark is going to clap back though as he shuts down Zend, putting us in a 3v4 situation, and everyone on the side of MousePlayz looking a little bit worse for wear. Not the best HP pool you could imagine for, but June wide swinging in will clean up Dark, and that's going to put us in a 2v4. Just 20 more seconds. That's all the time that MousePlayz need to hang on for, but well, FWB, they're really putting up one hell of a fight for them. They want to close this Oregon matchup right here and right now, but Miss Mary has something to say about it. She'll find Dutch as she's left on a quarter of HP, but the diffuser has successfully gone down. We're now in a post-plant situation, and Soulseeker has got a keen eye over that rotation. He'll shut down Miss Mary, and now it's all down to So Closed in a 1v2. Will we see some heroics with this SMG-11? The diffuser, it's in a really unfavorable position. Not sure if he's going to be able to win out this one in particular, but we'll have to wait and see. He's within arm's length of Soulseeker, and Joom has since rotated back towards the tower staircase on Overwatch. Down by the hallway, he'll find one onto Joom. That's the double on the round. He needs to find this one ASAP because the time is practically gone, and that's it. There's simply not enough time left on the board for him to get the counter defuse. FWB, they'll win on time alone, taking map number 2 all to themselves.
Well, we certainly said it would be a close game, and it came down to the wire there, I believe 4 seconds too late. He was just short of being able to get that defuse, that counter defuse. So FWB claw their way all the way to map number 3, Clubhouse. Who will be able to call Clubhouse Dubhouse and guarantee their way into the Benelux Cup group stages? Well, we've got only a brief moment to go, but Joom, 19 to 7. 19. I mean, I'm pretty certain that is, me, at least between us two, the highest kill count we've ever got the cast.
Oh, without a doubt. I don't recall the last time I saw somebody within the Benelux broadcast that we have done so far top 19 kills. Absolutely insane stuff coming out from Joom, and I'm not exactly sure if we do have the leaderboard. Maybe Noah had taken a screenshot of it sometime during the first map, because I do want to do some quick maths and see exactly how many kills Joom is currently sitting on right here. Maybe we'll have that info later on throughout the broadcast, but I'm pretty sure by now he's certainly been able to top 30, if not 35. in total.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is pushing that deep into the kill count. He has had a fantastic series so far, and well,
Wait, no. Actually, I think he has top 35 because Villa, I remember him fondly actually sitting on 15 kills, and then by the end of it all, I think he did actually sit on 16. So my hard guess for the time being is 35 kills in 2 maps, which is just ridiculous, out of this world.
I wonder what is just the overall record for kills in a best of 3 series for one player. I believe it's Shaiko versus Luminosity at DreamHack, and I believe he broke that record on Consulate. The fact I remember that because it was on Stokes' community cast stream.
Yeah.
Why is that information in my brain? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's good it's there. It just means you have tons and tons of interesting yet useless facts to throw about while we're waffling and whatnot.
It's a great thing. I mean, just the fact that back, I haven't so much in recent time watched a lot of Rainbow Six Esports, but I used to watch every single broadcast at the detriment of my own sleep schedule, and just a lot of memories just stuck in my brain now, just of all the weird and bizarre things I've got to witness. God, every time I think. What were you saying?
I was going to say I'm pretty sure it was worth it.
Oh, I think it really has. Man, I just SI19, I believe, watching Liquid versus Mocket. I think it was Liquid Mocket, or it could have been Navi. It was that team where it was a sexy cake 1v3 with the smoke shotgun at the very end, and Stokes screaming down the microphone after, I believe, 24-hour I think they were like 17 hours into a broadcaster group stages. There was going to go down a bare knuckle brawling, as well as the Hungry Ace against Nora Rangu. All these I saw Parker and Taro tweeting out that SI20 was the best. I'm going to say no, it really wasn't.
No.
It had the best crowd, it had the best chat, but let's be fair. SI 2020 had the great crowd, had great atmosphere, great chance, because I think that TSM SSG game in the semifinals, oh my god, that was the LAN environment I miss so much about Siege. But the storyline, the games of SI19 was so much better. And I mean, of course, we had a certain Canadian caster who's now playing for Mirage, guiding us through some of those incredible games.
Yeah, definitely so. And his KD is certainly enough to steal both our jobs, including Intero's job, which is, I don't know about you. I personally, my personal KD is like 1.23, and the reason I don't play Siege anymore is to actually ensure that KD stays intact, so I'm not out of a job.
Oh, same, man. Like I am on a 1.0. Like if I play like 5 more ranked games with negative, I'm gonna drop to 0.9, and I can't cast anymore. It's the rules, I guess, you know.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that we will be jumping off to a short 2-minute break, so we can actually go and pay a visit to the bathroom. I know I need to as well.
Did stream need to know?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's important, and as well.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. We're gonna cut to a very short break, so make sure to also, go to the bathroom if you need to, get yourself something to drink, microwave yourself some popcorn, and we will see you back here in just 2 to 3 minutes-ish. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so we're back, and now Milosh has decided to actually wear both of his hats stacked on top of each other. You can see that he's got both the sombrero and fedora that are overlapping each other, but that's not the only interesting thing that is going on. We've still got map 3 directly over the horizon, or actually it's directly in front of us right now. It's going to be Clubhouse, and, well, Dub House for the winner, and that is going to be our final battleground. Now, keep in mind, the winner of this particular lower bracket final is going to grant themselves a spot in the group stages for the Benelux Cup, and the loser will unfortunately, well, their run will unfortunately come to a very abrupt end. For both of these two squads, it is do or die.
When did you give Milosh both his hats?
Just 2 seconds ago.
And I was not informed that Milosh would be wearing both his... I mean, what Milosh... he didn't tell me he was wearing his hats. That's not added up in post, I promise.
I mean, which one do you think suits Milosh better, the fedora or the sombrero?
Well, I'm actually going to wait until I can see on the stream. Just because... I mean, when you briefly showed me earlier, I didn't get the best of luck because of OBS Ninja's bitrate. So I didn't get to see exactly how dapper my glorious cow was. It's still... so bizarre seeing it in frame as the R's cascade in chat. Well, guess what? We're ready to jump straight into Clubhouse. So,
yeah,
we're going to get ready for our third and final map between MousePlayz and Friends with Benefits. Of course, all on the line now. No mistakes for either team. They're going to want to be able to get a great, best of result as possible. And I'm going to be opening up our ban phase. It's going to be a Thatcher and a Hard Breacher, but which one of the Hard Breachers shall be leaving Team Rainbow for this one map?
We will find out momentarily. I'm pretty sure we are going to see a Maverick be banned out as well as a Thatcher. Those are usually, well, the two most common bans that you will see. Maverick has just proven to be one of the most annoying hard breaches to deal with on Clubhouse, but at the exact same time, I'm not exactly sure. We might see an ace ban. We might see an ace ban, but I highly doubt it. He's just been far too good to pass up on. But we'll just have to wait and see. I still strongly think it's going to be a Maverick.
No.
Okay.
Right. Hold up. I wonder
Yeah.
if this is the first gridlock ban of the entire this stage of qualifiers.
This is.
And it is.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know how exactly this is going to affect the matchup. We do know for a fact that both FWB and MousePlayz have been using this particular Australian operator to great lengths, especially when it comes down to the executions. I mean, there is nothing better. There is nothing that this particular chunky lady doesn't bring to the table. Track stingers as well as smoke grenades to mask out the sound of the diffuser going down. What more could you ask for?
I mean, you could ask for a hard breacher, you could ask for a lot of things, and, well, Amira is going to be the last operator out as well as Vomai, and I think it always takes one moment for my brain to turn into goop mode, and I think that gridlock ban has done it. I am so confused about this decision. Unless it was a target ban to make one player uncomfortable. I'm seeing GG's dark in chat, so perhaps it was to make him a little bit uncomfortable.
Potentially so. I mean, like I said before, he has been rocking that gridlock to great lengths, and, well, unfortunately, that particular run will come to a very abrupt end. But at the exact same time, well, MousePlayz, they can still keep their heads up because they have an absolute abundance of hard breachers to bring out to the table, to the playing field, I should say. And as you can see right here, well, they are going to be bringing out 3 of them. And I am also a bit surprised at the fact that Thermite hasn't seen the light of day a single time throughout this matchup, and that also just goes to prove how strong Ace actually is, and the fact that he can do Thermite's job just 10 times better.
Yeah, this is just an interesting ban phase I'm seeing, but Ace, the Selmas, combined with Maverick, to me I'm hearing one thing alone, as well as the redundancy of Dark on Habana, so a lot of utility to break through these walls, but I wonder if they're going to employ the strategy of opening up the server wall and then pushing through a construction. To me, it's the more potent, the more effective, the more dominant strategy, and I really hope we get to see that employed.
10 seconds to go.
I'm just seeing you typing in chat sombrero only now, so I think sombrero, it looks better on him. Milosh kind of looks like he should be rocking a sombrero.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I mean, Truth be told, the sombrero just looks that much more awesome than a fedora. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you've got that fedora, you can always tip it and go whip it. Or something else along those lines. Because he is your cardboard cow after all.
No,
whip it.
No, I don't want to ever hear that again. Thank you very much. That done. That's a monk ass. Yike, singular yike for you two doors. As Maverick chewing through, using the Tory torch best he can. A little bit messy on the top, but he's going to be cutting around the lines. Mr. Murray there to help crack open the wall when the time comes. I mean, this is just going to be an interesting round so far, but the kind of traditional slow start here on a strat-heavy map like Clubhouse, as everyone's getting this set up for Legion on top of rafters. Sportos is there to try and use the fireballs, likely to make apply some pressure as the main wall and servers open up. And so close, trying to find anyone via rafters, but the spray is not going to be hitting its target.
The one question that is kind of just rummaging around through my head right now is MousePlayz actually going to try to shift their focus off towards construction? Because that's something that we have seen tons of teams actually do. They get that server breach opened on up so they can just lock down the entire bomb site and deny free traversal from the defenders. It's entirely possible that MousePlayz could rotate on over, but Joom is probably going to make me eat my own words as he just got a 2K not all that long ago. So MousePlayz already looking a little bit worse for wear as there are 80 seconds left on the board. Joom trying to stick another run out, but it won't amount to anything, at least for the time being. Definitely an outstanding start so far from FWB, and Zend is also going to join in on the fun, shutting down Miss Marie to put us in a 5v2 as we see Bobby Boy working his way down into lower garage, seemingly looking for Soul Seeker on very low HP. Can he grab the frag is the question.
It's going to be a battle to do so, with such little time left and such little bodies to be able to throw at the objective, and guns like Joom still a factor. And well, he's going to be more of a factor there, finding the ace and leaving the fuser all the way by beer. Triple kill for Joom, and so close, the last man standing, trying to brawl his way, dropping down off the balcony. You're going to see the two players spotted outside. Can Joom win the fight? Of course he can. Of course he can. It's Joom. And during the break, Tudor's got the all-important screenshot. Yes. I believe we've calculated Joom is standing in 34 kills so far for this series.
And if you add the ones that he just received, that was, I believe, a triple kill in that particular round. If not, it was a quad, if you can pull up the scoreboard ever so eloquently, Noah, for a second. 4 kills. So my man Joom is currently sitting on a whopping 38 kills throughout this entire best-of-3 series.
I really want to know what the best... I mean, I said it last. What is the highest number of kills in a best-of-3 of all, at least in like T1, so we can compare Joom's performance against that? Because this has been a monster performance in this series so far, and with a whole map to play, potential 14 more rounds to go, he could have a whole lot of kills to his name. He's certainly, I think, going to have the confidence to break 40.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, at this sort of point, it's not even just really stat padding. I mean, yeah, sure, you can look at it in the way that it is stat padding and just grabbing a potential world record to your name, but still, he's truly fighting for that spot in the group stages of Benelux to have a shot at that juicy prize pool of 10,000 euros. Keep in mind that this match is for the potential to have a chance at that juicy 10,000 euro prize pool, which is something that is going through each and every single one of these players' heads.
Certainly so, and when with such a good prize on the line, you really have to kind of really consider how much that pressure is going to weigh on the players. Any mistake is going to be very kind of cascading in style, and the Montaigne brought out in play. With Dark once again, the third time we've seen him wield this operator. He's going to try and do so effectively for Joom. Yet again, keeping and pushing the pace with the aggression, and Miss Marie brought to the damage done. Both players left on low HP, and Dark trying to land the pre-fire through the door by Kitchen, but nothing's going to find its mark as Joom darts his way upstairs. This man, he's on such good form. I think he's going to keep trying to brawl and twist around. And he's going to do as much damage as he possibly can before his HP is ultimately depleted. But now he's going to scamper away, keep his life in tow. He's probably going to pop up later in a round and cause some chaos.
Definitely so, and now I'm struggling to think exactly what is FWB going to do to keep that kitchen hatch close for as long as possible. If you take a look at the impacts that are currently in play, Zend has got 2 of them in his back pocket, and that's roughly it. So you can deny 3 X-Kairos pellets, but sooner or later that kitchen hatch is going to be opened on up, and they have so close on the Maverick to dispose of the remaining hatches. C4 will be tossed out in a lovely little medic's point of view that our observer Noah can replicate, but sadly the C4 won't bear any fruit for the time being. Is so close, starts putting that blowtorch to good use, but oh no, that is absolutely massive for FWB. Joom being able to shut down so close through a tiny slit in that kitchen hatch is going to remove so closed and the Maverick right off the face of the earth.
That is just exactly why Joom is in this team and why he's been so prominent. He just decides to take a gunfight, and 9 times out of 10 he seems to win it. Zen dodging some bullets Neo style is going to keep his life intact, but a very aggressive play with the Montaigne, going to be able to displace the smoke, and Dark's going to be able to confirm that kill in the Wishmaster. Well, it's downing Zen, but Miss Marie, well, going to be able to confirm that kill. And a good shot there all the way back by AK.
Yeah, it's still a 4v3 situation, and FWB they've got to worry about, well, Dark on that particular, well, Montaigne, as Joom is able to actually finally get the kill onto Miss Marie, and Dutch will shut down the Montaigne of Zend. Now Sportos will get the immediate refrag onto Soul Seeker as well before losing his life. Instead, Joom picking up a triple kill as well, as Sportos just drops through the kitchen hatch to make some magic happen. He has to recover the diffuser, and if he's able to at least land 1 shot onto Joom, he is going to start looking a little bit better in this entire round. He's going to take a chunk load of damage, I'm not sure from which direction, but he's left on roughly at half HP as Joom starts ascending the main staircase to try to assert the high ground position. Now Sportos creeping his way up towards Dutch, unable to land the shots, and that's FWB taking their 2nd round in a row. I genuinely thought that MousePlayz had that round on lock, but honestly the turning point was Dutch cleaning up Dark on the Montaigne. As soon as that had happened, the entire round crumbled in front of MousePlayz.
I mean, probably couldn't have said it more perfectly myself. The Montaigne falling really did just unravel that round, and the chaos caused by Joom, of course, peeking up through the hatch and finding the Maverick before he could do his job to the full tuition. So, Noah, you could be so kind. Let's keep track. How many kills has Joom now accumulated so far? So we're 7-0.
So we were sitting on 38, if I remember correctly. It was 19 plus 15.
15
that
plus 4.
Well, 19 plus 15 is 30. It's 34. So now he's sitting at 41.
Oh,
41.
Can he break 50 kills in this series?
You know what? It's on.
9 more to go.
It's certainly on the table, and it's realistically speaking also in the dining room. It is most certainly going to happen. I have full faith that he's going to be able to actually, well, get that 40. He's definitely going to be able to top 50.
It's in the dining room?
Yeah. It's on the table and it's in the dining room.
I mean, the table doesn't always need to be in the dining room. It could be in an office, like, you know, where we are, you know. What if we're eating our food?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, like, truth be told, I pulled that analogy from Suits, if you know the show on Netflix. It's
I've never seen it, but I've strolled past.
Yeah, it's basically just it's just a show about lawyers, and they were talking about possibilities or something, and one of the main characters said, well, it's certainly not on the table, and it's also not in the dining room itself. That's kind of where I pulled the analogy from.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll give you that one. Okay. Gym bedroom, our side of choice here from Friends with Benefits. And what work will they be able to do? Yet again, so close, hopping on the Maverick, and Dark trying to do as much work as possible in the Montaigne. No rotate for him to try to exploit. So he's going to have to go the long way around, drops to his belly to see if he can find anyone's toes, but no one's going to be able to stumble into his sight.
at least MousePlayz have been able to actually work their way into server for the time being. They still have to go through the actual setup that, well, FWB have established for themselves. An aggressive run out coming out from Zend will bear fruit as he shuts down Miss Marie. That is the Hibana clean off the playing field, and Dark is also taking a chunk load of damage. I believe that was the Nitro Cell from down below as he lowers the shield to try to get a shot onto, who is it, Zend inside of Construct, or inside of Cash Room. It's going to cost him very, very dearly, and Soulseeker from down below is trying to land the shots onto the ace of Bobby Boy, but to no amount for the time being. And this push from MousePlayz has been brought to a grinding halt, but Bobby, he's making lemonade with some lemons right there as he shuts down Zenjum, trying to get aggressive yet again, lands a couple of shots onto Dark, but instead is just hitting that extendable shield. At least MousePlayz have managed to gain control of Construction and Cash, but they have to go through Wishmaster, the first point of contact inside of Logistics, and they have to do it all under 65 seconds.
As you mentioned, under 65 seconds to work, and now almost on a minute. So Close falls, actually claims Soulseeker. There's going to be a frag grenade tossed out by the Maverick. Will hit its mark. Wishmaster just going to be able to keep his life intact. Sportos losing a chunk of damage as well, and a Montaigne trying to act like a portable mirror window. But it does work both ways. Bobby Boy's not going to be able to find any fruition from it. Joom going to be able to get another one. He's going to be very aggressive. He's going to get a double in the round. Yes, he's a triple! Joom, you're insane! Who can stop this man? He's yet to die in the round. Yet even in this game. He's going to look for more. He's going to try and twist and turn. He's got a lot of work to do. He only won the fine in the lobby. It's going to be 25 seconds. He's going to be hunting after the final player. So Close to Maverick. He's going to get aggressive using the rotate inside of Jim. Going to try and just waste as much time as possible. The final gas cans are thrown out. Jim, well, I don't even know if he knew he was shooting us so close there, but Jim, I believe, 4 kills. Yet again, another 4K. He is coming alive here in the defense on the Jaeger. He is yet to die, yet to be slain. 11 kills in 3 rounds. 11-0. Pause it right there. That is a screenshot for the Twitter feed, Jim, I'm sure. And hopefully you're going to be able to keep getting more. This man has been unstoppable here on Club.
This man is really in his element. He's just vibing, and nobody on the side of MousePlayz can seemingly put an end to his reign of terror. This is just absolutely nuts. It's bonkers. This man has been going galactic throughout this entire best of 3 series, and yes, we are still keeping count of the total kill count that he has gotten so far. He is 5 away from topping 50 right now. Ridiculous stuff coming out from this man, and the fact that he's been able to keep his life intact throughout the 3 previous rounds really speaks volumes. This man is essentially just death himself. I'm gonna move away from the analogy of him being faster than your emergency response team. He is just more deadly than anyone I have ever casted.
I mean, he may as well be the Greeper himself, as he hasn't been able to get slain, and he's just dealt death to everyone who's walked inside of his FOV. Friends, it benefits reaping the rewards of having a gun this hot for their team, and they're certainly going to be trying to continue that pace of flawless rotation on the defensive club. MousePlayz yet to find a rebuke of Joom's aggression. Can they be able to do it now? Round 4, about to unravel in Joom. I think he's going to try and start for more aggression plays.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think when it's working this well for him, I think he's going to keep pushing his luck until eventually a bullet finds its way into his skull. He is going to keep trying to keep that pace applied. It's so close, already losing a chunk of damage. Unsure where that source of it was, but it's interesting. It must have been team damage.
Potentially, I don't know exactly where it came from, but at least he can brush it off his shoulder and get to work with what is important. Joom is still waiting ever so patiently to continue adding kills to his counter. He's ready for the run out over by Adam, but he's instead going to fall off it, at least for the time being. Elsewhere though, MousePlayz, they have to really think this particular take thorough. I mean, last time around they were able to get that breach open and have at least lock down the traversal through the bomb site of server, but that really wasn't the entire story because FWB were able to get so many kills back to back really quickly in quick succession. And speaking of which, Miss Marie, that is so darn unfortunate. Soulseeker, practically watching her like a hawk, is going to dispose of the IQ on the side of MousePlayz, and now there's just under or just over 100 seconds left. What can MousePlayz do? Can they get themselves out of this uncomfortable corner which they've been backed into?
They're very much backed into the corner, but more kind of to their concern. Zoom is still active on the map, roaming around. What can he do and what chaos can he cause? As their drone spewing in from construction side of the map. 125. Can they find a foothold? Zoom, so aggressive, cautious of a claymore. He's going to try and be sneaky with it. He knows there's a player by it, and impact by his teammates going to give him access to the run out. But he's not going to be able to find the head of the Maverick. It's so close, and while a brawl in the first death for Doom, 11-1 is going to be where it's going to end for his flawless record. It's so close, we'll shut him down, but he hasn't cracked open this wall yet. He's not going to have any initial support to help open it fully when he's able to do so. So Sporto's going to be able to use those fire grenades to push off, but well, Soulseeker finds one that's so close, the Maverick slain out, and that's going to be no control by the main wall. It's going to be a very tricky one, and it's going to be as this round plays out. And the benefits disadvantage gets greater and greater as the time bleeds away. And Bobby Boy, instead of construction, he's got the AK-12. Can he make this weapon work for him? The fire grenade's so close, choking out Zen, but he's going to be able to tuck himself deep into the corner. I think the Ace is going to try and make a play to sell him as break through the wall inside of construction. Sporto's going to take a whole boat worth of damage himself. Be left in a horrible position as time drains away, but the AK-12 rings as Zen falls to 3v3 as Sportos finds another one. A comeback maybe ensue. They got two more to isolate. It was going to be Wishmaster and Dutch, the last standing, but the Captain on low HP, a canister tossed out. Sturdy's going to breathe in some toxic fumes, and yes he does, but only going to take 1 tick of damage. Plan attempt not coming down yet with 10 seconds after the dive bomb in the side. Only one member of the defense remain. It's going to be the smoke of Wishmaster. He can't do enough. No! Sporto shuts him down. MousePlayz recover the round and get it. Round 4 in their favor. And of note, the only round they've won so far is the only round where they've been able to shut down Doom.
Yeah, that is definitely a very interesting statistics, but at the exact same time, entirely realistic. I mean, this man, Joom, has just proved to be a thorn in the side of MousePlayz throughout the entire best of 3 series, but at least MousePlayz have been able to find their footing. They seemingly shifted the entire tide of that round within the blink of an eye. It was a 4v3 situation in favor of FWB, and that was flipped over its head. MousePlayz, they managed to regain the man advantage and then thread the needle, which is exactly what we were hoping to see. Now, they've still got 2 more rounds to go on the attack to try to equalize out the round count and put us in an even scoreline before we actually move on to the side swap. But this is the kind of cool, calm, collected energy that we need to see from MousePlayz to ensure that FWB doesn't get the better of them as the rest of this clubhouse match progresses.
Certainly so, and I mean, this has been such a fantastic matchup, such a fantastic series so far, and we've just seen the teams could really not shake each other, and this 3-round advantage that FWB had before the last round was, I think, the largest deficit that any team has found themselves in, because they've been so tricky to separate, and it's going to come down to the wire here. Can MousePlayz use that round as a good footing to kind of launch themselves in success, gather some momentum, and claw this half back in their favor? FriendsWith benefits, though, certainly aren't going to be looking to slow down as Doom once again attempting some aggressive spawn peek from blue, and he might be able to find someone's head. He spots the player, but he is going to be able to get just out of the way of harm and keep his life intact. The chaos he can ensue later in the round, it might be more valuable than the shock and awe of that early spawn peek.
It's at least good that MousePlayz, they're doing their darns to try to contain the raw, unbridled aggression that Joom is bringing to the table, but keep in mind this man can still have a ton of impact as the match progresses. Now, this is going to be a bit of an interesting feat for So Close. Can he get this breach open without losing his life? Because the last round, during their last attack on CCTV and Catch, they weren't even able to get this particular wall open, which really hindered their progression and overall ability to win the round, despite the fact that they managed to overcome the insurmountable odds that FWB put on the table. Let's see if they can, in the first instance, actually get this breach open, and then how they're going to go about playing the remainder of the round.
Very much so. The Maverick still taking his time. He's very cautious to lose his life, and he's made a bit of a spaghetti work of the wall.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, this.
Oh, God.
Who let Hyena from I can't even remember I can't remember what team he's currently on or what he was on before he got dropped from Luminosity.
I don't know. I personally
But
don't know.
who let him? No, it was Doodle. There you go. He was notorious in the North American region for not having a great job with opening up
I
stuff on
mean,
Maverick.
like, look, at least he's living up to his name because he's just doodling on the wall. It's
This-
very messy. It's very hard to look at. It's quite literally just heartbreaking to see a Maverick put this kind of work onto the table. But elsewhere,
this is a tragic
yeah,
Maverick
it is.
trick,
It's an absolute travesty of a Maverick trick. But Joom is at least gonna shut down Dark, and Miss Marie's also gonna be shut down yet again. Joom, he's always ready to pounce. This man just cannot be stopped. And yet again, MousePlayz, well, they seemingly weren't able to pick up Joom as the opening frag, and that is going to be a very dire position that they have now been forced into. It's a 5v3 scenario. And, well, that travesty of a Maverick trick really isn't going to prove to work or to prove to be at all a favor for them at all.
Certainly not. Zoom trying to brawl with the players outside the garage is so close. They're going to get shot down. The ace is inside his sight and slain by the player in Rafters. A 30 of kills. It's going to be all down the Capital. He finds one through the smoke, but Wishmaster finds him. Finds the benefits. They're looking just so dominant, but kind of on the back of the unfortunate circumstances where they weren't able to crack open that Maverick trick. And, well, that's just
It's a bit of
unfortunate.
a yikes.
Unfortunate, unforeseen circumstance per se, and then I wonder, that's 2 extra kills for Joom we've just had.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that, look, was that wall? Did that wall even have any kind of hard breach denial on it? Like, did it have a mute jammer? Did it have any electric claws? Where was Bobby Boy? Where was he with the Selmas? That could have easily just cut their entire work in half instead of having to let So Closed put his Scribblio skills to the test on that server wall.
I mean, yeah, it would have saved a lot of time. They would have been able to just dump the Selmas on the wall and have a good time. But Joom, 13-1 so far. I have a feeling, I'm pretty safe to say who's going to be man of the map. He's had a fantastic performance and he has showed no signs of slowing down. 4-1 our scoreline. Round number 6, the last of the half for FWB's defense, and they go down to the basement. What work can they do here? What will we see from Joom? I wonder what sort of aggressive plays he'll try to opt for today. Because he's been doing a lot of it so far and it's been working out in his favor. The man's just got a red hot aim and he's going to try and make most of it while he's still there. Strike while the iron is hot. As MousePlayz have really struggled to find a way in the round and find a way into the building. And this man's been there to shut them down.
So, obviously we're going to be moving down back to the basement, and this was the one and only bomb site which MousePlayz actually came so desperately close to winning, aside from round number 4, was it, on their CCTV and cache attack. And obviously they had the Montaigne. Dark was donning the French Mountain in that particular round, but he unfortunately lost his life, and Joom was just wreaking havoc across the entire German clubhouse, which was unfortunate. But aside from that, MousePlayz, they were still sitting in a comfortable 4v3 scenario, just weren't able to properly thread the needle. That was the last time that they came so close to winning out a round, and if I may just throw in a little prediction, I'm pretty sure that MousePlayz, well, this is probably their best bet at securing themselves a second round before the side swap.
Very much so, and this is what I love from Siege. It's just, I do not know what's going to happen, and even though FWB has been so dominant, it's just still all up in the air. There's this kind of level of tension with everything on the line. Final map of a best of 3 series, and Joom, his brain stopped working for a second there. Well, of course, who needs your brain when you have the aim? He's not going to be relying much on his thought process. If he can click heads and pixels, already he's been doing so. As Dark rotating outside of the tunnel is so close, going to be able to try and crack open this hatch very soon. But I wonder if he's got some PTSD, because last time he paid the ultimate price before he was able to get halfway through it. As Joom, creeping and crawling his way up the main stairs, his gun is going to be looking to claim another victim. His HP not too healthy, but I think he's going to be quick on the draw. And yes, he is. Miss Marie falls, a 4v5 now, and Joom first blood yet again. Spordo is trying to get a refrag, but Joom finds his way upstairs now. The second half of the main stairs. He's going to be able to pounce. Yes, he is. A second of the round for him. Joom. Who can stop this man? The push inside of Oil Pit now is going to get detected from Dark, as well as the gas canister really delayed the server or the dirt tunnel push. As Dark's going to fight. What? Excuse me?
I'm left speechless after that. What? Huh?
Okay. Oh.
I.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, indeed. MousePlayz, though, they still have an extraordinarily steep hill to climb. Bobby is trying to make some work over by the dirt tunnel, seemingly cannot dislodge Wishmaster for the life of him. And this is going to be a really tricky round for MousePlayz to carry out. There's roughly 30 seconds left on the clock right here, and, well, there's no refract potential on the side of MousePlayz. They are all stripped relatively thin away from each other. Joom has worked his way back downstairs to reinforce the bomb site, but as that timer continues to tick on down, I'm not sure if MousePlayz are able to pull this one out. Joom is going to don his third for the round. He's on for the ace. He'll find Dark as well for the quad, Bobby boy, and Joom with the ace! Oh my goodness gracious, just setting MousePlayz in their place. This man is an unstoppable force. You cannot at all put an end to him.
Joom is just declaring himself a force of nature. He has just decided he's going to win. I'm going to click heads and win. And guess what he's done? Clicked 18 heads, been perished once. How many kills has that left him on this series? This is your category. Quick math, 2 doors. What can you calculate for us?
Let's see. He's topped 50. He's topped 50. He's sitting at 52 kills right now.
Oh my god.
Okay, I know we saw a couple of people in the chat just typing about that they want an interview with Joom. We're gonna see if we can make that happen because we have got to talk with this man. We want to know exactly what his DPI is, what his sense is, his FOV. We want to know what this man eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because this is just absolute dominance that he's exerting.
Well, my interviewer skills suck, so I guess that's going to be you leading in the charge. And I mean, I'm almost speechless about the performance Joom has put in. I think he's had very strong performances in all of the maps so far, but here on Clubhouse, he's seemingly just been everywhere at once, and every time there's a kill in the kill feed, it's just... and I think almost 90% of the time it's Joom and ace in the last round of the first half, and what a way to set yourself up for the rest of the game. Can he continue to get this aggression, the pace to work for him? Gingerbread skin on his R4C. Hopefully he's got a sweet tooth, and hopefully he can continue to cause all this chaos.
Definitely so, and he's just kind of shooting bullets into free air. A bit of a celebratory gunfire you can see from Joom right here. And maybe a potential team kill if he's edgy enough onto Dutch, but that will he'll have to restrain himself for a second. As Sportos will open up the round onto Soul Seeker. The one thing that has been sort of running through my mind so far, especially throughout that entire first half, is why haven't MousePlayz at all actually brought a Nomad to at least keep Joom in check? I mean, obviously it's a bit late to be pointing that out right now, but seemingly roamers have been a big issue so far for both of these two squads. They're just running amok and wrecking havoc every single turn of the journey, and it's a bit surprising that neither of these two squads have decided to bring out a Nomad.
It really is interesting, but it's a bit late to be even considering shutting down Joom now. I think he's found his stride, and he's going to be creeping inside the dirt tunnel. Can his kind of trend of winning every gunfight continue? A gas cans are tossed out. Well, yes, it does. Joom a 4v4 now. Is he going to get the opening kill as Wishmaster falls to Dark? The defense doing a good job so far, but we're not worried. Oh, what a shot there from Dark! He's going to find himself two, and he's going to be able to net the diffuser down an oil pit. Can Joom continue to claw it back for his team? It's going to be a tricky one to do so. Diffuser out of no man's land, and can it get recovered? An A drop incoming. Will it work out in favor of Dutch? It does some damage to Miss Marie, but not a whole pile. As Joom finds yet another kill. Oh my! Can this man be stopped? A tricky fight by the box. A minute left to work. Diffuser still stuck out in no man's land, but Joom is not going to give up easily. He's trying to push all the way and cause as much chaos as possible. Miss Marie deep inside of Armory going to be the most big threat for Joom because the Alder's not going to be able to shut down this angle for a long time. 50 seconds left to go. Can Friends of Benefits claw this one back?
I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure that they can. They do have the man advantage, and both Joom and Dutch, they are spread relatively far apart. I believe that Joom, excuse me, will be joining his ally momentarily, or at least trying to exert some vertical pressure. But at the end of the day, FWB, they don't have a lot working in their favor besides Joom's potential to win out this round. They don't have all that much map control, but Dutch is going to try to work with what is currently on the plate in front of him. He'll breach into a deep armory to try to at least gain some free real estate for himself. Will successfully clean up Sportos, but from inside of dirt, Miss Marie will clap back, and so will Joom. Cleaning up the Maestro, he can't unfortunately land the shots onto so close inside of Moto, and there's only 4 seconds left. He swings around with the pistol, and Joom! Oh my goodness, this man quite literally saved by the buzzer to clean up the round for FWB, and they will sit on match and series points.
I do not know how to feel about what I'm witnessing right now. Noah, throw up the scoreboard. What is going on?
22!
22 kills to 1. Match series points 6-1 the scoreline here. MousePlayz can't contain Joom, and well, Wishmaster confused as well. His teammate absolutely running riot here. Can it be enough to get all the way? I certainly think it will be. What a performance from Joom. MousePlayz, if it's time to bring out the bleeding edge strategy, the strap book, it surely is now. This is looking like a very dominant performance. Church Arsenal could be our very last bomb site we see. Joom alive equals round 1. Joom has died 1 round. MousePlayz have won 1 round.
This is just... I'm left utterly speechless. Like, my jaw is quite literally scraping against the floorboards in my office right now. There is nothing else that I can say about this. He is 1 kill away from topping 60 throughout this entire best of 3. 60! I refuse to believe this.
I believe during JBL Cup qualifiers, he had mega performances in the best of 1 qualifiers. I believe in this is for the cup calls as well. But I didn't expect this. I didn't expect a man to be so close to finding his way to 60 kills in a best of 3 series. I'm really going to have to try and find what the record was. I'm pretty sure it was Shaiko Dreamhack versus Luminosity. I'm pretty sure Joom might be able to kind of credit himself that he was able to outperform him. This has just been absolutely insane. And we still got at least 1 more round to go. Sportos playing aggressively by the stairs, main stairs that is, and he can't really do anything, peek out the window, but he's not going to do anything towards it. He is going to
reading all chats. Well, there we have it. That's the answer for what Joom has eaten for breakfast. You're welcome, Twitch chat. Absolutely monstrous stuff, and he'll continue to persist. Lights the heck out of Miss Marie, but not enough to clean up the kill yet. Sportos, once more, opening the round out by finding Dutch, and Zend is going to at least get the immediate refrag to even out the playing field. And now we'll see Zen get to work with those Selma charges on the kitchen hatches. Joom will shut down Miss Marie, putting us in a 4v3 FWB. This raw, unbridled aggression which they bring to the playing field has remained unmatched so far.
Joom, 60 kills in this series. He has been grabbed Clubhouse by the scruff of its neck and has almost single-handedly dismantled MousePlayz so far. Zen gonna awkwardly crack open the moto hatch, but knows it's now clear. Joom scouring, looking for any pixels to slay. The flashbang toss that was gonna displace Dark for the meantime. Can the 1.5x wheeling T5 do enough to shut down the Grim Reaper himself as Bobby Boy finds one of the Wishmaster? Doesn't matter, Joom is going to be able to find a second in the round. 62 kills totaled now. Dark falls. Bobby Boy inside of blue trying to recover some control of sight. This is going to be Joom, Soul Seeker, and Zen. The last 3 is only 2 defenders remain. Smoke's going to get tossed out. We're not going to be able to detonate. Zen's going to drop one in, bait some shots, but attempting a plant. Yes, he does. It's likely to go down. A C4 tossed out. Joom is going to be able to slay out the C4. No, not just in time. Of course, good cover position here. 63. 3 in the round for Joom. Is he going to be able to go all the way again? The player inside of blue. Joom is not aware of it as of now. Bobby Boy, the last man standing, of course, with all the on his back. But of course, Joom is there. Doesn't get the final kill. Soul Seeker going to get credit with that as Bobby Boy falls and Joom. Well, 25 and 1. 25 and 1. What have
I
we
don't
just watched?
I don't know. This is just absolute monstrosity coming out from Joom, and well, I mean, they've been properly rewarded for it, specifically Joom quite literally carrying his entire team through the trudges and the mud that is Clubhouse into huge amounts. Because of that dub, they have turned Clubhouse into Dubhouse, mind you, but they will successfully qualify for the Benelux Cup group stages. An absolutely galactic performance coming out from Joom, and this man is probably going to need to set an appointment with a chiropractor relatively soon.
I mean, he might have to. I mean, he might have to be careful. He a lot of G fuel coursing through his veins after that one. What? I am almost lost for words. I am so mesmerized by the performance Joom just put in. 25-1 on a single map, 60+ kills in a series. Could you ask for more from a player? Could you ask any more of your entry fragger and roamer? I don't think you can, and that is just the most quintessential throw your hot gun on Ash and Jaeger and let him have fun. That was a fantastic performance.
He genuinely just had a field day. He had a field day. He went to town. And my God, I have no doubt about the fact that this man is going to be uploading a very juicy montage later on.
I certainly think he will be.
It's definitely on the table, but I know that Twitch chat is begging for an interview with Joom, so we're going to see what we can do about that. If we can get him online for an interview, that would definitely be super duper awesome if we can. And we are going to cut to a short break to hopefully sort out the interview. If it doesn't happen, then we will be back for some proper outros and such. But so either way, stay tuned. We're going to try to get Joom on screen for y'all in just a few. We unfortunately come bearing bad news. I can't find Joom anywhere in Discord, which really sucks because we would have really wanted to find out exactly what is going on with this man to get almost 60 kills in a best of 3 series. After running the numbers again, he was just 1 away from actually hitting 60 kills by the looks of it. 59 to top things off and to ensure that Friends with Benefits have a shot at that juicy prize pool. It was an absolute barn burner, ridiculous, bonkers match to close off this journey that we started just a couple of weeks back with the JBL qualifiers.
I mean, I am just in complete shock. And when you watch a performance that good, when someone's able to just to completely impose their will on a lobby, on a map, like Joom did on Clubhouse, 25-1 was his final frag count. I think that just shows that we had a spectacular series. Of course, the other maps were far more closely contested, but at the end of the day, Friends with Benefits ran away with Clubhouse 7-1 at the final scoreline. And really, they were just they were unbeatable towards the second half of the series. And I mean, what a performance.
Definitely so. I finally got a hold of Joom. I'm currently in a DM with him right here. So why don't you waffle on for a bit while I see what we can figure out.
Oh, this is a... Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll figure it out a way. Perfect. I just opened the Liquipedia to try and give me a way out. And of course, they always do. Team Zoned are going to be your final team, going to be able to get that spot in the Benelux Cup because they got a 2-0 victory over Red Falcons in the other lower bracket game. That's going to be concluding all the members from these qualifiers. Benelux on top, Passion, Friends with Benefits, and Team Zoned are going to be finding their spots inside of the Benelux Cup group stages, and I believe that's in November, if my memory serves me correct. I'll take that as a resounding, it could be right.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna try and fill as much time as possible because I mean, I'm very much struggling for words because it's very rare you see a performance as an individual performance that reigns that supreme in Siege. You know, these teams were very close and very, like, while Joom was always active on the gun, he was always able to kind of cause chaos everywhere he went. It just felt that he never really was able to completely impose his will, and when he was able to do so, when he was able to just completely decide to take the entire map of Clubhouse and decide it's mine, I'm going to do whatever I want here, it was impossible to contain him, it was impossible to shut him down. And just unfortunately, that's going to be the end of MousePlayz run here in the qualifiers. They're not going to be able to find their spot in the group stages, but of course they had a fantastic run as well to get this far. Commiseration is the final hurdle. It was just too hard to get over Joom.
It definitely was. So Joom has responded. He will be joining us for an interview, which is going to be really awesome to finally get a talk to the man, the myth, the legend himself. But we will have to cut to a break to ensure that we can get cameras set up, to make sure that we got all of our audio right. So, you know, just bear with us for a tad bit longer while we get this interview set up. I promise it's on the way. Fingers crossed. We will see you guys yet again. Sorry for the abundance of breaks, but we will be back very shortly with Joom. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our, well, I don't even know how to describe this. This is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joom. How are you feeling after that, well, ecstatic win and just utter domination?
I mean, I'm feeling good. Like, that was such a fun game to play. I mean, I kind of just went off and just, you know, did my thing.
You quite literally, you were just vibing throughout the entire matchup. There is no better way to describe it. I'm not exactly sure if you've been tuning in, but we're busy trying to crunch the numbers and actually get a grasp of the current world record. But you managed to top 59 kills, just one away from that round 60 throughout the entire best of 3 series. And so, well, the question that myself and Whippet have been asking ourselves is, well, what do you eat, man? What's breakfast looking like for you?
Actually, I don't think I've eaten anything. I've eaten some chips. That's everything.
Okay, what kind of chips?
Some Lin. I don't know the English word. They're German, but
Linsen chips.
Yeah.
Are those kind of like deep fried vegetables or something like that? That's what they look
I think
like.
they're from pies. No. Like they're just
Okay.
I like them.
So I'm just gonna take quick note here. So nothing for breakfast. Chips if you actually feel a bit more on the loose side, you could have some chips for breakfast. But Honestly, the one thing that I've got to say is now that you guys have made it into the Benelux Cup, obviously there are going to be some really, really tough opponents that the rest of Friends with Benefits are going to be going up against. I'm talking about Gamma Gaming, former Lowland Lions, 4 Elements, and also Poggers x MCon. How does it feel to actually have the chance to go up against these titans within the Benelux region?
I think it's a good potential to show who we are, and I hope we'll do at least we'll put up a fight, and hopefully actually win.
Okay. And one more question that I've got is, so how did the actual Friends with Benefits roster even come together? Because you've got some really, really just important, very popular names from bits and pieces around the Siege community kind of just balled up together into a glob of outstanding players that seemingly managed to break a high kill threshold. How did Friends with Benefits actually come to be?
So I think basically one of my friends that knew Wishmaster told him about me, and then Wishmaster asked me if I wanted to like trial and stuff. And the other people are already in there, and that's basically. And now Soulseeker joined us, which is actually not a good fragger, also very good. So that's basically it.
Okay, I mean, do you guys intend to stay together as a core roster moving into the future as well? Is that on the menu?
That's currently the plan.
Awesome, that's actually great to hear. I'm not exactly sure if any orgs will start to pick you up, because personally the name Friends with Benefits has grown on me as well. It'd be sad to see that go. But that's more or less actually all the questions that I've got. Whippet, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Do you have any burning questions that need to be asked?
I just want to know, what was it like in the team comms when you began to pop off, more importantly, that ace? When you landed that ace at the final round of your defense half, what was going on in team comms? Just because I can just imagine it was loud and explosive, because that was an incredible play.
Like, my own team asked if I toggled. That's pretty...
Another question: Are you going to start submitting those MOS files? Because
oh, I already did. Okay. I already instantly.
That was the fastest MOS submission in all time. I guarantee it.
Most likely. I mean, we've seen our observer Dan speedrun Rainbow Six Siege rehosts any %, but Joom just showed us how to properly speedrun MOS file submission any % as well. What? Go on.
Just a fantastic performance. I mean, I think I can speak for both myself and Two Doors. We were left speechless by the end of Clubhouse, and just what a performance. I mean, your guns were active all the way through the opening 2 maps, Villa and Oregon, but I mean, what clicked on Clubhouse to just really set everything off? Because I believe you went 15 on Villa, you went 19
on Oregon.
19 on Oregon, and you really just everything is you're building upon every single map. And what made everything click on Clubhouse?
I think I got warmed up and I just started doing my thing,
There's not much to it. He's a very simple man. He's a very simple man, and he can just frag out, stepping up to the plate when it's desperately needed. Now, we're more or less we're approaching the end of the broadcast. Joom, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we sign off? Any shout outs, any thank yous to any specific people out there?
Just my team. They're awesome. Such friendly people. I like all of them.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining us on the virtual caster desk as usual, or not as per usual, just for the first time. Hopefully, we'll get to interview you more often throughout the future. Once again, huge congratulations on successfully finishing the closed qualifiers and powering your way through to the actual Benelux Cup group stages. I wish you nothing but the best and brightest future as a player, and for the rest of your squad as well. Thank you so much for joining us yet again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. For now, you're free to go.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Take care. So, Whippet, that's about it. We've been through hell and back so far for the entire past couple of weeks with the Benelux qualifiers. Any last couple of thoughts before we sign off?
I mean, it's been a long road. It's been some of the most brilliant games of Siege I've ever got the cast. I mean, and I think right there, the cherry on top. I think the highest kill count, I mean, definitely the highest kill count I've ever seen in the series. The best performance on an individual map I've ever seen. Some of just the best plays I've ever got to cast, ever got to see have happened during these Benelux Cup qualifiers as well as the JBL qualifiers, and it's been a fantastic run. And of course, it's been a great pleasure to be beside you every step of the way.
Definitely so. I can definitely echo that sentiment. It just sort of happened out of the blue, like, hey, there's some community cast. Let's go ahead and jump on the train and see what happens. And well, what do you know? A lot has happened. Now, I'd like to take just a special little moment to say a couple of thank yous to all of the people who have actually been part of this project so far. Notably, Dan from Discord, our usual observer, who has been observing countless matches throughout the last couple of weeks, and Noah as well, our observer who managed to step in today as well as yesterday to help us power through these closed qualifiers. Also a special thanks to, well, Mihai from Twitch chat, who is also my good friend Aya, who has also been stepping in randomly, usually at 7 p.m. to observe the first map of our qualifiers in JBL Cups. Your work has not gone unnoticed. Thank you so much. And on top of that, I'd like to give a special thank you out to all of the moderators who made their way into Twitch chat tonight to make sure that the Twitch chat in itself is a safe and civil environment for everyone to speak their mind. Huge props to all of you guys.
Certainly so. It's a massive team effort for every production, and we've certainly had our long nights during all these Benelux games. I mean, I give massive credit to all of our observers. Noah as well has to listen to us ramble away as we fill during rehosts or in the gaps between rounds. So it's been an absolutely fantastic experience. I would love to do it again. Hopefully we will be doing more of this as time goes on. But I think, I mean, that's everything I've got to say. What a way to wrap up our qualifiers here for the Benelux Cup.
What a way to wrap things up indeed. So once again, thank you so much to every single one of you guys who managed to find their way in Twitch chat and have supported us throughout the past couple of weeks. It's been a wondrous journey, but all good things must come to an end. When sooner or later we will be back with some more Benelux qualifier or just Benelux community cast in general. But for now, that's it. We'd like to thank you once again so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys in the near but not too distant future. Until then, take care, and we'll see each other again.